Koikimedia, we're bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
Àwọn sálára àgbà yìí dá, àwa ló láṣà àti èdè. Gbígbédè lárugẹ nílẹ̀ Oòduà o, àwa gangan ni bàbá.
Koikimedia, 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 we bringing the world closer to your doorstep.
They never sabi wetin we carry for her.
But they move closer before them to sabi.
I said they never know wetin we carry for body.
But they move closer before them to sabi.
Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ, ìníhùn ló ló lajú.
Ẹyẹ tó lórí kodò bí àdán, àpẹjẹ lẹ́nu.
Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa, ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè kó Odùduwà.
Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wá.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe gírí, ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀, ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí, ká wálé gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé, ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀, àwa ni mọ̀lẹ̀ tí yóò tàn káàkiri.
Ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá.
Koikimedia, àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù ògbó tí wàá máa ní.
Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá kájé bùgbà yín jẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù ògbó tí wàá máa ní.
À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń gbàsà lárugẹ.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù ògbó tí wàá máa ní.
News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́.
Ètò tó pọ̀jù ògbó tí wàá máa ní.
Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. Koikimedia ọ̀rọ̀ lágbájúmọ̀ mi o, máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ o. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi, ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé máa dé, ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ gájòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ, àjòjì tó bá wọ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé, ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. Koikimedia ṣàwa ní bàbá. Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àwa là ń gbé tò lárugẹ, jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa, fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o, tọkàntọkàn.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ikú tó ṣe bí lébi òsì, àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
We bring you work closer to your doorstep.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ òòdùn kan kí oko lára ni.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Àpèrègèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
Odùduwà la gbé dání, òtítọ́ la gbé dání.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sódì kẹta.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
A dúró tán, a tún pèrègèdè.
Koikimedia àwọn ní bàbá.
walk closer to your doorstep. Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Is around.
To give us latest.
Ladies and gentlemen,
ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú owó.
ladies and gentlemen,
ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀, ẹ tẹ́tí ẹ gbọ́ ètò tó kojú owó.
Koikimedia is around.
To give us latest.
Koikimedia.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ ọ̀dọ́ tá a jọ ń káàkiri ọ̀dọ́jọ́ ni wá ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ kí a fi àyè gba Fúlàní lórí ilẹ̀ àwọn bàbá wa ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ ká bú ọba mọ́ ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ ká bú jòyè mọ́ nígbà tá a la fẹ́ jà fún àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wa táwa ń kọ́kọ́ ń bú ọba tá à ń bú jòyè èmi náà ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ rí bó mo pera mi padà ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ ká bú àgbààgbà kankan mọ́ ẹ mọ̀ bolóṣèlú kankan àwọn ẹ̀rù kálukú ń bẹ̀rù wọn ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ ọba ò lè sọ ìjòyè lè sọ ẹ jẹ́ ká ronú ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ ká bá àwọn bàbá wa jà mọ́ ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ á bú wọn mọ́ ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ á ṣe wọ́n ra wọn la pẹ̀lú wọn àwọn àgbà tó bá jó lóṣèlú tá a bá fẹ́ kọ́ wọn rìn wá lọ́wọ́ á pè wọn mọ́ra á gbé wọn mọ́ra ni à ní bú wọn mọ́ ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ á ṣèjẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ mọ̀ jẹ́ á dàlúrú a lè gba ẹ̀tọ́ wa láì ṣèjẹ̀gbọ́n a lè gba ẹ̀tọ́ wa láì yìnbọn a lè gba ẹ̀tọ́ wa láì dàlúrú gbogbo protest tí mo ṣe ní ìlú Nàìjíríà mi ò rí ibi tí mo ti ẹnìkan lè sọ pé mo pààyàn tàbí mo jó nǹkan náà tàbí mo bà nǹkan jẹ́ mo lọ písù torí pé olówó lèmi náà tí ò bá sólówó lára ń dì mọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tọ́lọ́run fún yẹn lọ́lọ́run fún mi mi ṣe tálákà tó dé pé mo dìde fún jà Yorùbá big man ni mi àwọn tó jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi tó súnmọ́ mi tó ní owó ní kí ni mo wá lọ bẹ̀ pé sọ́wọ́ lè mi mò ń fẹ́ ni kí n sọ yìí tí mo fẹ́ mo ní ìsọ̀rọ̀ owó àní ọ̀rọ̀ ìran mi ni mò ń sọ kí n wọ gbowó kí n gbéra kí n pé mò ń lọ ọ̀dọ̀ ọba gbowó mò ń lọ ọ̀dọ̀ oníbodè òfin gbowó kí n kójó wọlé kọ́kàn mi balẹ̀ kí n dá wa mọ́tò kí n mọ́ rìn bọ̀ kí Fúlàní mọ́ da mi dúró títì kí n délé kí bàbá sọ pé kí n gbé tírélà sùn kí n mọ́ gbé lọ àwọn bàbá wo lè lóko mọ́ wọn ò lè lóńdò ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ká ti àwọn bàbá wa lẹ́yìn ká dá security ti wá lẹ̀ ká sọ fún wọn kí wọ́n bá wa fọwọ́ tì í ká lé wọn kó nu oko wa ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ Jésù Olúwa wa.
She said
sí o. Lọ́jọ́ kẹjọ wọ́n sọmọ ní Sunday o. Aláìsẹ́ni tó mọ ohun tí ó dá o. Ọmọ bá ń dàgbà ọmọ bá rà. Ayọ̀kúnlé bí eré ni bí eré
update on the program yesterday. Today is the 23rd day of the month of October. Once again, today is the 23rd day of the month of October as we continue to release more press statements. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI and also the spokesman for Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho, popularly known as Igboho Osha. And this is coming from the AOC Solicitors and Attorney Arase Chamber, and it goes like this. 72 beside Bova Station, Iwo Road, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. 23rd October 2024. Rejoinder on the alleged allegations of fraud leveled on Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igboho, published by the City News Nigeria by Akinlolu Oyebanji of AOC Solicitors and Attorney. It is disheartening to see a person digging spikes into the eyes of his benevolent as done by one Mr. Captain Ola Alufa to our client Sunday Adeyemo Igboho. Mr. Captain Ola Alufa recently caused libelous publications to be made against his benevolent Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho in the City News Nigeria on the 6th day of the October 2024 and on the 22nd of October 2024. Pathetically, members of the Nigerian police force are dancing to the tune of Mr. Captain Ola Alufa and exercising their power ultra vows to favor the said Mr. Captain Ola Alufa. This makes it imperative to set the record straight and stop misleading of the public over the issue between Mr. Captain Ola Alufa and Mr. Kunu Olusegun Francis, as well as our client Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho, upon which Mr. Captain Ola Alufa started tainting and bogusly discrediting the reputation of our client Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho. Early this year, one Mr. Kunu Olusegun Francis, a Nigerian Cotonou-based, reached out to our client Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho, considering his activism for Yoruba people and Nigerians at large, while he, Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho, was in Germany seeking for his intervention to get his freedom and the freedom of Mr. Captain Ola Alufa, among others, from the law enforcement officers in Cotonou, Benin Republic. The fact upon which they were arrested at Cotonou, Benin Republic, as confirmed by our client Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho, is that there was a contract for the supply of automotive gas oil (AGO) to Cotonou, Benin Republic, between Mr. Captain Ola Alufa and some other people in Cotonou, Benin Republic. Mr. Captain Ola Alufa was then alleged of supplying defective and substandard automotive gas oil (AGO), subsequent upon which the police in Cotonou, Benin Republic started looking for him. Mr. Captain Ola Alufa contacted Mr. Kunu Olusegun Francis, who based in Cotonou, to come to his aid. During the course of discussion between Mr. Captain Ola Alufa and Mr. Kunu Olusegun Francis, the police arrested them together while their workers, the contract which our client Sunday Adeyemo was never a party or privy to. With the intervention of our client Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho, the detainees, Mr. Captain Ola Alufa and Mr. Kunu Olusegun Francis and their workers were granted administrative bail by the police in Cotonou, Benin Republic, while the matter is still pending there till date. Later, Mr. Captain Ola Alufa called our client Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho, who was then in Germany, that there was an issue between him and Mr. Kunu Olusegun Francis, which he wanted our client Sunday Adeyemo Sunday Igboho to intervene in it before it gets escalated. According to our client, he, Mr. Captain Ola Alufa, proposed the sales of the automotive gas oil to Mr. Kunu Olusegun Francis, and being a businessman who also deals in buying and selling of automotive gas oil, to get his case settled in Cotonou, the proposal which Mr. Kunu Olusegun Francis accepted. Our client, Sunday Adeyemo, was never a party to the agreement between the duo. Having paid part of the consideration to the tune of 352,500,000 naira, which is equivalent to $255,000, to access the automotive gas oil, leaving a balance of $105,000. The parties then discovered that the level of water in the said automotive gas oil, AGO, is much than expected. Hence, the issue of restructure of the consideration part of the agreement arose. This serves as the cause of their disagreement, upon which Mr. Captain Ola Alufa sought our client Sunday Adeyemo intervention. Our client Sunday Adeyemo, Sunday Igboho, then appealed to the duo to shift ground for each other in the interest of peace and nothing more. There is no record or evidence to show that there was a transaction, contractual or sorrow sheet between our client Sunday Adeyemo and Sunday Igboho and Mr. Captain Ola Alufa and or any other body whatsoever. It came as a shock to our office and our client himself, Sunday Adeyemo, Sunday Igboho, to hear that an expert order was obtained at the instance of Mr. Captain Ola Alufa to extradite and arrest our client over the contractual relationship he is never a party to. It is very clear, we believe, that the above-mentioned news published by City News Nigeria, instigated by Mr. Captain Ola Alufa, was only used to malign and defame our client Sunday Adeyemo's integrity and defaming his character, which has caused serious injury to his standing credit and reputation before his colleagues, business associates, neighbors, friends, and well-wishers. They said Mr. Captain Ola Alufa is still needed to appear before the police in Benin, Cotonou, to defend himself in respect of the substandard automotive gas oil AGO brought against him in Cotonou, Benin Republic, as he jumped bail, which our client Sunday Adeyemo's intervention secured for him. On a last note, while our firm is not holding brief for Mr. Kunu Olusegun Francis, it is very pertinent to state that Mr. Captain Ola Alufa is a non-smuggler who deals in smuggling adulterated product, AGOs, to the neighboring countries, and this has necessitated the government of Benin Republic to place him on a wanted list. It would equally interest the general public to note that a petition has been forwarded to the Office of Inspector General of Police by the Office of AOC Solicitors and Attorney on behalf of Sunday Adeyemo for criminal defamation of character, and also a fundamental action has been instituted against him, Mr. Captain Ola Alufa, as well as the Interpol section of the police for necessary action. The hint Mr. Captain Ola Alufa is very much aware, including the office of the Interpol at Alagbon, Ikoyi, Lagos State, which made them to resort to media trial. Akinlolu Oyebamiji, ESQ, Principal Partner, Akinlolu Oyebanji. And this is the updated from the solicitor representing Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho. Fáǹfààní gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n gbọ́ èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì tí a fi kọ interpacita ẹ̀. In tí àwọn agbẹjọ́ bàbá wa Olóyè Igboho tó ń jẹ́ kó yé wa nínú ìwé tí wọ́n fi ránṣẹ́ sí wa kó tó dípa àbẹ̀rẹ̀ program yìí ni pé arákùnrin kan wà tó gbé ọjà lọ sí Benin Republic. Nígbà tó gbé ọjà dọ́hùn, òun àti ẹni tí wọ́n jọ fẹ́ tajà tí bàbá wa Olóyè Igboho ò mọ kankan nípa ẹ̀. Wọn ò ní any contract, wọn ò ní kankan tó dà wọ́n papọ̀ nínú ọjà tó gbé lọ sí Benin. irú ọjà wo là ń sọ yìí ọjà tó ń pè ní automotive gas and oil nígbà tí wọ́n gbé dé Benin Republic ẹni tí wọ́n gbé dé ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀ arákùnrin tó ń pè ní Captain Ọláolúfàì ó bọ́ sínú wàhálà pẹ̀lú ìjọba Benin Republic ó pe ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀ tó ń pè ní Kúnlé Kùnú Olúṣẹ́gun Francis ìyẹn ọmọ Nàìjíríà àmọ́ nílùú Benin lòún gbé níbẹ̀ ni ọlọ́pàá arrest àwọn méjèèjì pẹ̀lú àwọn tó jọ ń bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n pe olóyè Ìgbòho olóyè bá wọn dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ọlọ́pàá fi sílẹ̀ on bail kó tó di pé ọjà tó gbé lọ sí Benin ìyẹn Captain Ọláolúfà ìyẹn Mr. Kùnú Olúṣẹ́gun Francis ó di pé wọ́n gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tí wọ́n dẹ̀ san nínú owó fún gbogbo eléyìí kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú olóyè Ìgbòho àmọ́ owó tí Olúkùnú Francis tó san fún ìyẹn ẹni tó mú ẹjọ́ wá tó mú lọ sórí mídíà tí wọ́n náà wọ́n wá olóyè káàkiri òun ni pé wọ́n ti san díẹ̀ nínú owó tí wọ́n jọ ṣe agreement to the tune of 352 million naira and 500,000 naira tó bọ́ sí iye tí a máa pè ní $255,000 nígbà tó kù balance of $105,000 kí ló wá dé tó di pé wọ́n mú orúkọ lóyè wọnú in tí àwọn méjèèjì ò jọ mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ òun ni pé Mr. Captain Ọláolúfà tó ti jump bail lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí ní Benin Republic tí wọ́n wá ó lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ City newspaper ó kó ẹjọ́ lọ síbẹ̀ nítorí pé wọ́n mọ̀ dájú pé orúkọ lóyè Ìgbòho gangan ni orúkọ tí gbogbo èèyàn mọ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ìta tó wá ń fẹ́ mọ̀ ni pé ṣáwọn míì wà lẹ́yìn iṣẹ́ tó ń lọ yìí torí pé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kò ń ṣe lénìí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ti ń bọ̀ láti gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn akọ̀wé olóyè Ìgbòho jẹ́ kó yé wa nínú fọ́nrán tí a kà síta pé wọ́n ti kọ̀wé sí lórí ìyẹn ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ọdún yìí tá a pè ní on the 6th of October kó tó dúdi pé arákùnrin tún gbé ẹjọ́ lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ pépà lọ́n the 22nd ìyẹn lánàá èní ní 23rd ìbéèrè tí à ń bi Mr. Captain Ọláolúfà ni pé níbo lòun àti olóyè ti jọ jókòó tí wọ́n ti jọ kọ̀wé pé àwọn fẹ́ tajà fúnra wọn àti pé kí ló lè wá mú ìdí tí wọ́n mú orúkọ olóyè lọ sí ilé ẹjọ́ ìyẹn ní Èkó tó fi di pé àwọn Interpol wọn náwọn ń wá olóyè Ìgbòho àwọn agbẹjọ́rò tó jẹ́ fún olóyè wá jẹ́ kó yé wa pé àwọn ti kọ̀wé sí ìjọba ọlọ́pàá ti Àbújá tí a mọ̀ sí Inspector General of Police àwọn dẹ̀ ti fi ìwé ránṣẹ́ náà sí àwọn tó ń bẹ ní Interpol ní alágbọn ní Ìkòyí ní Lagos State nítorí pé in tí wọ́n ń play out yìí òun la máa ń pè ní media trial nígbà tí ẹjọ́ ṣòwò kí ni tolóyè nínú ẹ̀ ìyẹn gẹ́gẹ́ bí agbẹnusọ èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí agbẹnusọ fún olóyè Ìgbòho òun ni mo tún fi yé wa pé eléyìí ni update version tí a mú wá láti orí ìkànnì wa Koikimedia bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí and welcome and we will come back to that in just about a few minutes but let's come out and continue the discussion. I remember nígbà tí mo lọ́lé ní 2021 I spent good amount of time to understand that Igboho was dealing with not just Yoruba nation but was working tirelessly on a daily basis solving problems that were not coming to the limelight of the public. And I was shocked because on a daily basis, there were queues of hundreds, at least, not thousands, but hundreds of people on a daily basis. And I mean on a daily basis, up to the Sunday, that brings all kind of cases. That brings all kind of cases to Igboho to be resolved. And that literally means that Igboho became what we would call Citizen Advice Bureau. Ẹ má worry, mo ti yọ ọmọ àlè yẹn kúrò. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó dá yín láàmú. Mo ti yọ kúrò. Mo ti spotted. So, at the end of the day, mo wá realize pé iṣẹ́ tí olóyè gbé dání kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation nìkan ẹni tó máa gbẹ́jọ́ ilẹ̀ wá ẹni tó máa gbẹ́jọ́ ìyá wọn náà wọ́n bàbá wọn náà wọ́n oríṣiríṣi case just like bí a ṣe mọ̀ pé tá bá wo Nàìjíríà intimidation ó wà lára ìdí tí a ṣe ń sọ pé a fẹ́ gba country wa because tá bá ní country tiwa kò sẹ́ni tó máa intimidate ara wọn olúkálùkù máa ní right tí nǹkan bá dẹ̀ dáadáa bó ṣe jẹ́ kó lọ mo kí àwa Madam Baale mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí ètò ẹ̀ bá gbé wọlé share button wàá gbé lọ sí ilé ẹjọ́ bó bí gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ tó o bá mọ̀yàn ní Nàìjíríà ìyà máa jẹ́ you will suffer the consequence if you do not know someone in Nigeria. So that means that many people are looking for somebody like Igboho to come around and help them with many cases that they've tried to solve either amicably or because for one reason or the other. So that for me was one of the things that got me shocked nígbà tí mo lọ lé ní 2021 because I didn't realize that Igboho was also like another office that was helping many people to solve many different cases. But for the period of time I was with him, I now realized that Igboho was working heavily to make sure that many lives were saved. It's just a common sense that the average Yoruba man should understand that in tí Igboho ń jà fún kò ń jà fún ara ẹnìkan. Many people, even up to when we were in Belfast, at least while we were together, many calls were coming through for different problems upon problems, and people can testify to that. Àwọn tó bá ní problem yẹn, kódà ìyá wa kan lórí program wa ní bíbá called me and wanted to speak to Igboho because there were some crises that he need to deal with, and that is the reason why that we were telling many people that until tá bá kúrò nínú Nigeria ni a máa lè solve many problems. Igboho cannot resolve all the problems in Yoruba land. That is why we need a country that works. Our lórí program only, we call it anything more lórí program. All right, sorry later. All right. So, in tí gbogbo ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ ní understanding is that just as what Igboho is fighting for, the least he will see is for somebody to be intimidated. Kọ́rẹ́yàn jẹ, kó fẹ́ lo ọlá agbára léyàn lórí. Because ẹni tí kò níyàn, tí kò dẹ̀ mọ̀yàn, will be looking for somebody like Igboho. And today, there is nothing that can solve all the problems that we are facing in Yoruba land until tá bá kúrò nínú Nigeria. Tá bá kúrò nínú Nigeria, a láǹfààní láti lè resolve multiple crises and problems tá ń face nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. But tá bá refuse pé ká wà nínú Nigeria, kódà kò sí the amount of àwọn tí ẹ pè ní NGO tó lè solve problem yẹn, wọn ò ní lè solve ẹ̀. Ìdí tá ṣe ń pariwo pé kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá fọwọ́ sí kí ìran Yorùbá lè tètè tú kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Àtàbádẹ̀ wo àkọlé ètò tí a gbé kalẹ̀ ní wákàtí, a rí pé ó dá sí who ta ni among láàrin ẹ̀yà ọmọ Yorùbá are against tí wọ́n tako independent Yorùbá country kó exit union tí wọ́n kó wá sí ní 1914 amalgamation àti tá fi lọ sí independent. Let me repeat that again. Who láàrin gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, ẹ̀yin náà máa kọ sí comment section. Láàrin gbogbo ẹ̀yà tí Yorùbá jẹ́ lẹ́nu, ta ló wà against kíran Yorùbá kó dá dúró, because àgbáyé ò sọ fún apá lè dá dúró, àti mọ̀ yẹn. Kò síbi kankan tó kọ sí pé Yorùbá people tẹ́ jẹ́ indigenous ẹ lè dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. Ta wá ní àwọn tó ń takò, ta làwọn tó ń gbàbọ̀dè, ta làwọn tó ń dúró lé lórí pé ìran yìí ò ní dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. Because tó bá jẹ́ pé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá fọwọ́ sí pé ká dá dúró ni ìwọ̀nba ní eléyìí tá máa ṣe tó ta làwọn tó ń takò gangan àti pé kí ni ìdí táwọn fi ń takò ṣé wọ́n ń takò pé kó sọ̀pọ́tì international community against wa ni àbí kó sọ̀pọ́tì the agenda torí gbogbo alámọ̀ pé there is an agenda in tó bá dẹ̀ ti ní agenda nínú agenda yẹn wọ́n máa fulfill ẹ̀ agenda Fúlàní ni pé kó gbalẹ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ ìyẹn lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ Fúlàní wá rẹ́dì láti lo gbogbo tó bá ní láti fi gbalẹ̀ yẹn mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ àmọ́ ìjà wa tó kù máa wá accept ìjà kan máa fold arms wa ìjà máa jókòó lára reason táwa kan ṣe dìde nìyẹn because lóòótọ́ kò ń ṣe pé ènìyàn ti ń pariwo pé kí Yorùbá dá dúró àmọ́ àwọn tó gbé dání wọn ò fi òtítọ́ àti ẹ̀dùn ọkàn tó ń yọ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́nu torí pé wọ́n náà fẹ́ country but wọ́n sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ country wọ́n ní kó restructure wọ́n ní kó fún wọn ní regional government ẹnu yẹn dẹ̀ lọ dúró lé láti 30 years kódà béèyàn bá ń lò nǹkan fún 30 years tí kò bá dáhùn ó jẹ́ ká lè switch kí ló dé táwọn yẹn tó wá ń pariwo pé kí ìran Yorùbá dá dúró láàrin restructure àti regional nígbà tá a lè dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè kan lágbàáyé tó máa ní independent tiẹ̀ nítorí pé a mọ̀ pé àwọn ìlú kan wà lágbàáyé kódà independent tiwọn kò fẹ́ẹ̀ má lágbára táwa bá gba tiwa torí pé most of this country are small ẹ jẹ́ ká wo Malta ni wọ́n ti lọ refine epo Nàìjíríà ṣe rí i pé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá a ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí a need láti ṣe gbé epo lọ síta a máa build refinery sílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó máa work tó máa lè mú iṣẹ́ wá tó dẹ̀ máa mú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àǹfààní fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá so ta làwọn tó ń takò who are the enemies of Yorubas àwọn wo ni wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kí Yorùbá kúrò ní stage tá a wà yìí àwọn wo ni wọ́n ń takò àwọn wo ni wọ́n dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí igi tí à ń gbé báyìí wọ́n ń jù báyìí and what is the purpose and the mission and what can we do kí la lè ṣe tí a lè fi stop wọn kí la lè ṣe tí a lè fi suppress wọn kí la lè ṣe tí a lè fi strangulate wọn nítorí pé a bá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí 100 people ká fẹ́ jà nísìn as an example tí èèyàn kan láàrin wa bá ti gbàbọ̀dè fún wa kí lè rò pa lè ṣe fún èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ a wá rí i pé àwọn tó ń tako ìran wọn àwọn mọ̀ dájú pé ìran yẹn lè dá dúró kò ń ṣe pé ó dìgbà tí wòlíì bá sọ fún wa pé ó ti tó kí Yorùbá nation dá dúró a nídìí bàbá Adébóyè kó sọ fún wa pé kí Yorùbá dá dúró a nídìí màálà kó sọ fún wa a nídìí Britain kó sọ fún wa kódà ojú gbogbo wa la mọ̀ pé ní ìgbà kan rí lórí ilẹ̀ yẹn a ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tó mú àṣeyọrí jáde kí ló wá fà á tá wà backward kí ló fà á tí ìran yìí wá wà behind more than in tó wà tẹ́lẹ̀ àti pé ṣé bá ṣe máa bá lọ lélẹ̀ nítorí pé bí gbogbo wa fẹ́ bá kọ̀ bó a fẹ́ bá kọ̀ ikú kan ló máa pa gbogbo wa kí ló wá dé tí a fi ẹ̀mí wa sílẹ̀ láti jàjà òtítọ́ láti lè fi gbára wa sílẹ̀ in tí olóyè ń ṣe nìyẹn tó fi di pé gbogbo ilé owó ẹ̀ wọ́n ti pa wọ́n close accounted because wọ́n mọ̀ pé tó bá jẹ́ pé owó yẹn ló fi ń operate ni tá bá close ẹ̀ àásọ ẹ̀dọ́lọ́sì àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wá ní no kò jẹ́ kó rí báyìí wọ́n wá refuse àwọn wá súnmọ́ lóyè Ìgbòho pé kàkà kí wọ́n sọ ẹ́ di olòṣì torí pé tí mọ́là fẹ́ nìyẹn wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé olè wà láàrin àwọn Yorùbá àwọn tó bá ti gbówó fún nítorí pé gbogbo ìpàdé tó fẹ́ pè ní November 7 nísìn kò ju pé instigation àwọn Britain òun lẹ gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi Britain ló ń create that instigation fún àwọn bá jáde láti lè confirm pé àwọn ò fẹ́ Yorùbá nation fact lẹ ti gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi lọ́sàn-án yìí British government àti àwọn tí wọ́n jọ ń ṣèjọba ìlú yìí àwọn ni wọ́n ti pe àwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá pé tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá jáde láti disagree pẹ̀lú àwọn Yorùbá nation a máa activate gbogbo ohun tó yẹ ká ṣe fáwọn tí wọ́n gbé lẹ́tà wá ó wá kù sẹ́mi àti yín lọ́wọ́ ṣé bá ṣe máa wá jókòó ní tí àmọ́ àwọn tó sign amalgamation wọ́n á ní ọba kan ló sign ẹ̀ ọba òun ti kú nísìnyí ó kó dààmú lé wa lọ́wọ́ ṣé a tún máa wá gbà káwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá ó ń ṣe gbogbo wọn mo sì bá àwọn ọba tí wọ́n jẹ́ àwọn tí wọ́n ní ọba ẹ mọ̀ káwọn ọba ní stage wọ́n dẹ̀ ní different level. Àwọn tó wà ní bottom àwọn ń tara pé ìtagbédání òtítọ́ ni, àmọ́ àwọn tó wà lókè tó jẹun kúná dáadáa káwọn ọmọ wọn tó ti fún wọn ní scholarship torí pé òyìnbó mọ bó ṣe mú wọn, wàá béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn pé ọmọ mélòó lẹ fẹ́ fún ní scholarship, wàá gbé scholarship lé wọn lọ́wọ́. Tí a bá gbà kí wọ́n ṣe interface ní next month, tí communique bá jáde tí a bá tètè activate, wọ́n máa restructure wa padà sínú Nàìjíríà for another more than 100 years. Àṣírí lẹ gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi. Ṣé 100 years ni wọ́n sign tẹ́lẹ̀? This time around ó máa ju 100 years lọ. Tẹ́ bá yẹ ká padà sẹ́yìn díẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá rántí before the election, mo fẹ́ gbé wa padà sí a little bit of, you know, British, how are you? The right person. Tẹ́ bá rántí pé the former British High Commission to Nigeria, ó rin àwọn ìrìn kan kó tó di pọ́ kúrò. Ó rin àwọn ìrìn kan, former British High Commissioner to Nigeria visit to Aláàfin. Now, ẹ jẹ́ n padà sí article yẹn. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan ṣẹgbẹ́ ó lè share button. Because ìpàdé tó ń bọ̀ ní November 7 ó dá lórí pé wọ́n fẹ́ kó wa padà sínú amalgamation. Òun lẹ ti gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi yẹn. We are going back into amalgamation if we all sleep and allow our kings to endorse Britain to keep Nigeria together for many more years. Mo ń bọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Yoruba nation is the only way out. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Mo kí wa pé a kú now. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀, ẹ jẹ́ n gbé padà sí 2016. Paul Arkwright yesterday wrapped up his first ever visit to Ogun State in the Southwest. This article was published on the 3rd of June 2016. The High Commissioner in discussion with Governor Ibikunle Amosun on possible UK collaboration with Ogun State. This was in 2016. Article tí mo ń kà ẹ́. Some highlight of the 2-day visit, which commenced on Wednesday, 1st of June 2016, included calls on Ogun State Governor, former nísìn, Ibikunle Amosun, and the former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, tí Obasanjo wá ń sọ nísìn pé òun ò ní fara mọ́ Odùduwà Republic nítorí pé òun believe in one Nigeria, so kò sí kankan tó ń jẹ́ Odùduwà Republic lọ́dọ̀ tòun. I'll come back to that in that article, but let me bring my screen up. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Share the program because it is important that many Yoruba people know what is going on, because many of us are sleeping and they are about to sign another agreement to keep Yoruba people within Nigeria. So, now, let's go through it. Now, tẹ́bá wo article tí mo fi wọ̀n wá ní, this was less than 24 hours ago. While all these allegation upon allegation against Igboho, Obasanjo quickly came out. One need Obasanjo kó sọ̀rọ̀, but Obasanjo is not strong enough to send the message to the international community. The international community is now monitoring what is going on in Nigeria because one mọ̀ pé ogun lè bẹ́lẹ̀ ní Nigeria, and tógun bá bẹ́lẹ̀, they will hold the government of Nigeria accountable for any loss of lives. Now, what they need now is Britain to tell our kings àwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá pé tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá tètè ṣe ìpàdé kẹ́ sọ fún àgbáyé pé ẹ̀yin ò fọwọ́ sí pé kí Nàìjíríà pín nísìn. That means that whatever consequence tó bá dé sálẹ̀, you might also be part of it as part of the player. Àwọn ọba yẹn wá sáré pè pàdé. Òun ni ìpàdé tó fẹ́ ṣe ní November 7. First and foremost, Igboho is not going to attend any meeting in Nigeria. I can confirm that officially. Gbogbo ìpàdé tó bá fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú Igboho will be through the Zoom and will also be in the public domain. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ni àṣepàdé kọ̀kọ̀. Gbogbo ìpàdé tó máa ń ṣe for a very long time. Ṣé rántí pé it has been the norm that tó bá fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan kan ní Nigeria, I'm talking about 10, 20, 30 years ago, wàá ṣe secret meeting. Wàá tún ṣe secret meeting. Kódà secret meeting yẹn máa pé bíi 10. Ẹ ní wàá mọ èyí tó máa lò nínú ẹ̀. Wọ́n ò ní fi orí wa fágbọn, orí tiwọn ló máa fi fágbọn. Nítorí pé wọ́n fẹ́ endorse láti sọ fún Britain pé it is not yet time for Nigeria to dissolve, even though everybody knows that Nigeria is due to be deamalgamated. Kí ló ń pè ní deamalgamation? The amalgamation of what was amalgamated, because Nigeria was only amalgamated. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ń jẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀. Now, ẹ wo headline here. This is the headline yesterday. I am better as a Nigerian than in Oduduwa Republic. Ta ló rán Ọbásanjọ́ ńṣẹ́? Ta ló gbéṣẹ́ lé lọ́wọ́? Because he's an expired man. Nobody cares about him anymore. Another 30 years, he will be gone. Another 30 years, he will be gone. Another 30 years, I will be in my 70s. Kọ́lọ̀ fún lẹ́mìí gúngùn, àgbàdúrà kú fún, àgbàdúrà kú fèmí náà. But do we now say that we should keep listening to all these old baggers that destroyed us and sold us to Britain in the first place? Tẹ́ bá rántí pé ogun Biafra, Ọbásanjọ́ was fully involved in the Biafra war. Wàrà àwọn tí wọ́n train ní Britain ní Ọbásanjọ́, lára àwọn tó train ní Buhari, lára àwọn tó train ní Gowon. These are the trained experts. That is why they keep going back to Britain to tell Britain that Nigeria is not going to break. Now, ta ló máa wá gbà láàrin wa? Ṣé Igboho nìkan lẹ fẹ́ gbé pressure lé lórí ni? No. Igboho nìkan kọ́ ló fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́. Ó kù sí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́. The economy of Nigeria is going nowhere because it is completely dead. That's number one. The security is not going to change because there's an agenda, not only in Nigeria, by the West to make sure that the whole Sahel area, ìyẹn ni wọ́n ṣe ń kó terrorists lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ Niger, because Niger right now is free, and Burkina Faso is free, and I believe Mali. Those three are free from the Western hypocrite and ideology because wọ́n fẹ́ keep gbogbo wa together and they want to move a gas pipeline láti gba Niger. I'll come back to that. But the focus now is for the Yoruba people to understand the danger that we are facing right now. If we do not do nothing, what can we do? We can make as much noise on social media, but we need to be out on the street at the appropriate time that should not be not less than before 2027. Because if we allow the agenda of Britain again and allow Tinubu to be dismissed, wọ́n lè lé Tinubu lọ by 2027, then they will bring in another northerners to fulfill the last part of Tinubu's agenda. Tinubu has agreed to that, but I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's go back again to the visitation of the British High Commissioner. These are their own agenda. As of 2016, none of us were talking about Yoruba nation. But there were some people that told us that they are in the Yoruba country. We were calling for Yoruba nation. People like Victor Taiwo, they are criminals. Criminals among the Yorubas that were using the word Yoruba nation. But the word Yoruba nation mean nothing to them because they were part of the agenda. Now they realize that there's another agenda. But this agenda is going to be fulfilled. This agenda will be delivered. This agenda is different from the agenda that were there before. Tẹ́ bá rántí pé ní 2016 tí eléyìí ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, 2017 was when this video came out, and I want us to listen to it. Look at the article. This is published on the British website called gov.uk. In tó bá fi síbí by confirm ni. I did not write it. This is exactly, but this is what they're just telling you on a brief. But leave behind the curtain, they will not tell you everything that Amosu signed. And we find out later because Amosu not tap from Ogun State. But what we know is that Amosu sold to Chinese what led to the presidential plane being arrested outside Nigeria. It's because we did not know. until the Chinese came out and said, no, Amosun ti tan kan fáwọn, well, they just go work. You can see that the agenda of these criminal politicians is working, but because we have all tolerated it. If we do not stop it now, it will be a total disaster. Let's first listen to this before we go further. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Please share the program. It is very, very important. Today's program is the most important program we've done in the 4 years, because what if they sign another treaty to keep Yoruba together, and that is the reason why they're calling for November 7th of all the kings. I don't know who of the king is going to be there, but what I can tell you is that there is an agenda to sign the Yoruba people back with the British amalgamation that has already expired, because what very new agreement here, and they will not tell you this, but in terms of power, everything will be fine. But there is an agenda now that November 7th meeting is going to happen, but the inside core meeting is not going to happen in the broad daylight. Òru ma padà ṣe meeting yẹn. Gbogbo ìtọ́ máa ṣe fún yín láàárọ̀, irọ́ ni o. Gbogbo ìtọ́ bá televise fún yín láàárọ̀, irọ́ ni o. Ó di òru lọ́ máa gbé document lé wọn lọ́wọ́ tólúkálukú máa tọwọ́ bọ̀. Wọ́n fẹ́ sign Yorùbá padà sí amalgamation tó ti expire. Tẹ́yìn ọmọ Yorùbá bá gbà. Torí pé èmi nìkan kọ́ lọ́mọ Yorùbá, Ìgbòho kọ́ nìkan lọ́mọ Yorùbá, Bàbá Akíntóyè kọ́. I am telling you this based on the intelligence that came to me some few days ago. But I've been busy and I'm back to my base now, and this is the time now that we raise the voice. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá ṣe ìtànfẹ́, you will be back as another amalgamation that could last another 100 years. So let's first listen to this. This was in 2017 when many of our comrades then realized that there's a danger. That danger must now be activated. But àwọn tó náà wọ́n ṣe Yorùbá nation tẹ́lẹ̀ will go through the extent of releasing the people to know the truth. All they did was lies upon lies upon lies. But people like George Akinola knew the truth, knew that they were playing games with the Yoruba people, knew that there was no reason for us to continue with Nigeria. But what suppressed àwọn people yẹn? Wọ́n jẹ́ kí wọ́n gbé ọ̀rọ̀ jáde. Now that we have a different media that is different from the NTA, the channel, the TVC, all these criminal medias that do not have any value for Yoruba people, we have now been able to give many Yoruba people the understanding of an independent country. Mo tún béèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, who among the Yorubas are against Yoruba having its own independent country? When countries that are less than our population are countries today, if we refuse to do nothing, November 7th is the D-Day that another amalgamation is about to play out in Nigeria. Listen to this. This was 2017. A year after Ogun State criminal governor Amosun brought in the former British High Commissioner Ẹrántí ọkùnrin yẹn. After ọkùnrin yẹn lọ gbé Katrina Lang wá, Katrina Lang also paid a visit to most of the others around as well as at the time. But let's listen to this.
Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Yoruba development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces?
This country that has already shot to pieces. This was in 2017. This was when this comrade realized the truth. But most of us abroad, we were busy working, sending money home, being used as statistics by the World Bank and the IMF and the Nigerian government as another number. They refused to allow the diaspora to have a diaspora voting. Yet, we did not have a say. But we were pumping money back home. Billions of dollars of diaspora money, including mine, because we thought that was the only way to save the lives of our people. We did not realize that the only way to save our people was to exit the contraction called Nigeria. On November 7, 2024, they are planning to sign a new fraudulent amalgamation to keep Yoruba people within Nigeria, and we must not allow such to happen. Let's go back to the video.
I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance.
They are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. That is exactly what Tope play again. We had all the obas, we had all the politicians. Was inside one of the biggest, most important stadium in the world called Adamasiga, even though the standard is not very good due to the fact that Nigeria took it away from us. Now, what they did in 2017 was to tell all the Yoruba people, because it is not about even the voting that will bring you back into Nigeria. But November 7th is the new amalgamation that will be signed secretly. None of us will know because they will not give you that information. But I am telling us today that ìpàdé tó fẹ́ ṣe ní Lagos State is a new fraudulent amalgamation that Britain is also aware of. And if we do nothing now, it will be difficult because one might kick Tinubu out. Tinubu might not make it to 2027 in terms of the election. And that means the northern agenda will kick in. That is why àwọn olè Fúlàní lọ bá Ọbásanjọ́ nílé. I will show you the article as well. Because ibẹ̀ ni Ọbásanjọ́ ti sọ pé òun ò kì í ṣọmọ Yorùbá, ọmọ Nàìjíríà lòun. Òun dẹ̀ believe in only Nigeria and nothing less. We are now at the crossroad. We are now at the crossroad. If we sleep more than what we are sleeping now, we are sliding into a new Nigeria where Nigeria will include Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, even though we know that the Biafra are working tirelessly to exit, but it is important that the Yoruba people now wake up before we are put back into another amalgamation. Let's go back to the video one more time.
The process of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
If it has come to an end, why then are we planning to renew it? If it has come to an end, kí ló dé tí àwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá àti àwọn elite àti politician, kí ló dé tó fẹ́ súnmọ́ àwọn òyìnbó láti sign wa padà sínú another amalgamation? Let me remind us of this article one more time. Once again, my name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. You're watching a live broadcast on the 23rd of October 2024 at exactly 16:24 or 27 in the UK, London, England. British High Commissioner Paul Arkwright complete a 2-day visit to Ogun State. Tẹ́ bá rántí pé Ogun State is a unique state. Ogun State has the uniqueness that the world also needs. And Britain are not ready to allow everyone to go their separate way. They're not going to give us a country. There's no doubt about it. But we must not allow them to sign us again into a fraudulent amalgamation, knowing fully well that the world is expecting Yoruba people to be free from the bondage and the shackles of what is called Nigeria. And if we do not allow such to happen now, it will be a total disaster. And that is why we must do everything to be free as quickly as possible. Ẹ̀gbọ́n tí words of awo kò tó di kókó.
The welfare of millions of people for generations to come may be affected by the wisdom which we here display. If Nigerian leaders and our British partners are to prove themselves worthy of their trust, now is the time for us solemnly and truly to dedicate ourselves to seeking the greatest good of the greatest number of our people in Nigeria.
Other countries were refused at first, but we have to remember, and this is a really important point, that self-determination is an inalienable international right and a law as well. And other countries will recognise Scotland's democratic choice expressed at the ballot box. They will recognise that because that is the route that many other countries have taken in order to become independent. And just to make that point, that international law is very pragmatic on that point, so we should have confidence in that.
I
saw Nigeria in the hands of the Almighty God, heaven and earth. Carry Nigeria was and it crash landed Nigeria. And Nigeria was scattered into pieces. Amen. Amen. And it was divided into various ways. And the hands took eraser and it erased Nigeria. It wrote another nation which I could not know. The second vision I saw a sun, and it was called the Son of Righteousness. And the sun set all of a sudden. And God told me, if the Son of Righteousness come down in Nigeria, and we're going to suffer a lot. The third vision.
Amen.
Amen.
Please, everybody pay attention to a little boy called David. A young man saved from garage without wisdom of men. So listen.
Warning. From the third revelation.
You Christian in Nigeria.
You Christian in Nigeria. If you allow the Son of Righteousness to go down in this nation, we are going to all suffer. If the righteousness of Christian has been collapsed, the enemy will prevail or have power over them. What happened to all of us in this nation is righteousness has fallen or collapsed. There is no more righteousness in the church. No more righteousness in the church. And Yoruba didn't come to pass on us. The righteous one in the city is the wicked one. All of us speaking the truth, you are trying to silence us. I wrote something on the Facebook this week. Somebody said, Daddy, easy. But what I said, I mean it. I cannot talk in the secret that I cannot say it in the public. I don't want hearsay. I don't want lie and hearsay. That's why I'm using smartwatch.
Anybody talking around me is on record. Whatever I'm saying, you
don't need to be told. The help of the Christian. But my word of encouragement was first that we should go and revive. All of us, we call ourselves Christian in this nation. We are after money and position. Righteousness are falling away from the church. Righteousness has fallen away from the pulpit. Righteousness has fallen away from the church. Righteousness has fallen in the life of people. The neighbors are deceiving themselves. Two pastors relating together with lies. The leaders are relating with the followers with lies. And the all our newspapers are full of lies. Somebody was killing along the express road.
Secretary to government,
and the secretary to the government said he was still armed robber. Those the victims said it was armed robber for Fulani. Government was flying videos. Radio. If there's anyone that says truth, the government will ask them to go and shut them up. We are using lies to arrange our life. Righteousness exalted the nations. Any nation that righteousness has collapsed will fall as well. Only one thing I'm laying emphasis on today, and I will continue to say it. Margaret Thatcher said it when she visited Nigeria.
Prime Minister UK.
When she was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. The woman is dead now. When she came to this nation, that look at all our things.
Nigeria is an artificial country.
Built
on faulty foundation. Proper structure.
ìpìlẹ̀ tó fìdí múlẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe rí gan nìyẹn.
And that's how it is.
I keep on saying it.
Mò ń sọ.
Nigeria is an artificial country.
Nàìjíríà jẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè tí a tọwọ́ ènìyàn dá.
Gbogbo ẹnu ni mo fi sọ láìsí
All
ibẹ̀.
my house without
Bí mo láǹfààní ní gbangba màá sọ
You
bẹ́ẹ̀.
have privilege to say publicly, I will declare it.
Nigeria is an artificial country
Nàìjíríà jẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè tí a tọwọ́
built
ènìyàn dá.
on faulty foundation
Àti lórí ìpìlẹ̀ tí kò
without
dá.
proper structure.
Láì ní àwọn ìgbékalẹ̀
And
tó
we
dá.
keep patching it.
A sì ń mọ à ń.
Ìgbé tá a bá fi tọ́mọ,
Any house we used to train a child.
ìrì ló máa wó kalẹ̀.
Definitely deal with collapse.
Òdodo ní gbé orílẹ̀-èdè lékè.
Righteousness exalted a nation.
Irọ́ làwa fi ń kọ́
And we are
orílẹ̀-èdè.
using lies to build our own
Kò
nation.
sígbà tí ò ní wó.
There is no way we will not collapse.
Ọgbẹ́ ènìyàn ò lè tó ìlú.
The wisdom education of man cannot
Ọgbẹ́
have
ènìyàn ò lè tó ìjọ.
The wisdom of man cannot have a church.
Kìrìsìtẹ́nì kì í ṣe pé mo kàwé.
Christian is not about education.
Ìwé dáa.
Education is true.
Ṣùgbọ́n
What
bíbélì pé
the Bible says.
ìwé a máa pani.
Letter killers.
Ẹ̀mí ní sọ ní
The
díà.
spirit that quickeneth.
Amen.
Amen.
Now gbogbo ọgbẹ́ ènìyàn
All the wisdom and philosophy of man
tó ayé kò tó orílẹ̀-èdè.
cannot arrange this world or nation.
Àwọn professor lórí economics ò
The
níye.
professors on economics are numerous.
Wọ́n lè yanjú economic
They
ní
cannot
Nàìjíríà.
settle the economic problem of Nigeria.
Ìkànnú ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n economics lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí.
One of the
Ó
professor in
ní
economics.
Nigeria economics a galloping economy.
Ó ní ọrọ̀ ajé Nàìjíríà ó jẹ́ èyí tó ń lọ sókè tó ń lọ
Ṣubú ṣeré ni.
Ṣubú ṣeré ni o.
Wọ́n sì ẹ̀yàn prime minister for petroleum tuntun.
They have just appointed a new minister of petroleum.
Ó ní àlè continue pẹ̀lú 145 by ní.
And he said we can't continue with 145
Pé
per jala
àbídá
info.
fekun.
Except we had to eat.
Àfikún kò yanjú
We
ìṣòro wa.
had and had to eat. It couldn't solve our problem.
Now mi ò tí ì ráyè ti
I
Nàìjíríà.
don't have time for Nigeria now.
Kìrìsìtẹ́nì ni mo fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀
But I want
lónìí.
to talk to Christian in Nigeria.
Ìrànlọ́wọ́ kìrìsìtẹ́nì.
The help of Christian.
Tálà ń pè ní kìrìsìtẹ́nì.
Who is a Christian?
Kì í ṣe Paul.
He's not.
This is 2021. Some people are already getting ready to kill themselves over 2023. And they don't even know whether there will be 2023. They don't even know if there is 2023, whether they will still be around. There's nobody here who can say for sure that we will still be around by tomorrow. Nobody. It is God who determines who will still be around by 2023. Somebody said to me, sir, who do you think should be president in 2023? I said, president of where? He said, president of Nigeria. How are you sure there will be Nigeria in 2023? How are you sure? Can you swear? I pray there will be, so don't misquote me.
You can see the difference between two different pastors or prophet or man of God. While one was factual, that Nigeria is galloping, the other one was pepe, unsure or so. So the agenda to keep Nigeria together has now kick-started just after the 12th of October this year, when they now realize that this agenda of Babakitoye and Igboho and many of us is not a joke. What they realize now is the earlier they get rid of us, the better for the mission and the vision of Britain and the rest of the world in keeping and managing Nigeria. The letter that was delivered, that many people are saying that it does not have any value. The letter that many analysts, from the crazy ones and the stupid ones and the ones that are born bastards, that cannot process that the Yorubas are bigger than Malta, that is refinery that refine your crude oil, that the Yoruba that are bigger than Finland, that the Yoruba that are bigger than Belgium, the Yoruba that are bigger in size, in the land, in the waters, in intelligence. But the same Yorubas are more than happy for crumbs. And that is why, if we give room again, Nigeria will be amalgamated and it will be a disaster for every one of us. It's not about Igboho anymore now. Ó kù sí gbogbo wa lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń gbọ́ ètò yìí, intelligent tó dórí desk mi ni pé They are going to sign a new amalgamation on the 7th of November this year. But listen to this.
There is no land called Nigeria. There is no language called Nigeria. There are no people called Nigerians. We are only deceiving ourselves.
We are not Nigerian.
Okay, where is Nigeria? Where is the land called Nigeria? What is the Nigerian language? We are nations that had been forced together to live in one pathetic country. So anybody who goes there today to say pray for Nigeria, that person is just deceiving himself, because the people who want to be that Nigeria had not sat down to agree if they want to be Nigeria.
Now, let's break it down. Edekama, break it down one at a time. And I'll give room for call within the next 40 minutes. Mokibo Bayomo Yoruba, I greet all Nigerians. I understand your plight to save Nigeria, but the saving of Nigeria will make you more poorer. The saving of Nigeria will not give you the privilege to be exactly who you plan to be in the future, and the future is now. The saving of keeping one Nigeria will continue to create a lot of disagreement, online, offline, among every indigenous people. We are not tribes. I don't know the Igbos. We don't know the Hausas. We are all different people until the fraudulent British amalgamation in 1914 that will now be renewed on the 7th of November by some of the Yoruba kings. Not all of them, but every single one of them have been invited. Whether the ones that are not going to sign will be bold enough to face the camera and tell us the truth after their meeting, time will tell. History is about to be played out in Yoruba land, as the Yoruba kings have now accepted that they will not allow the breakup of Nigeria at this present time, because Bola Tinubu is the present president, and also many other things that I will not be able to reveal on the social media for security reasons. But the time, I will release them. But I can confirm that the world wants Nigeria to break up. I can tell you that. They are fed up of many of what is happening in Nigeria. The injustice. Billions of dollars have been pumped into Nigeria, but those billions continue to leave the shore of Nigeria to other countries around the world. As an investigative journalist that also work with many other outlets, media outlets, we have many criminals like Ike Ekerimadu. We know many of them like Alison Madueke Dezani that will be going to court next year. There are many of them like that. Some of them will not pass through UK anymore. Some of them are working tirelessly so that they are not extradited back to the UK. We know Abba Kyari, many of them like such. But what many Nigerians do not understand is that you are being used as part of the guinea pigs by the international community, most importantly the IMF and the World Bank. They are the most crazy institution that wants to keep us together. And that is why they will need somebody like Obasanjo that thinks that he is the face of Africa, an old bagger that believes that we can stick together in one crazy country called Nigeria, even though, because I have the evidence, that he himself told us that if we are not stupid, it is time that we all push. If you don't push, nobody's calling for war. I am not calling for war. I am repeating exactly what Obasanjo said, that if we do not push all these criminals out of the way, not to save Nigeria, but for everybody to go their separate ways, you will lose your life at some point because of paracetamol. You will lose your life because of the insecurity. You will lose your life because you will not be able to practice your religion, whether you are Muslim, Christian, or a traditionalist. You will not have the freedom that you expect in a client society. Nigeria is a zoo, and nothing will work out of it. Yes, it is still a country, and we will manage it until it breaks up. You have every right to keep your passport, since if you don't have access to another passport, not everybody has the British, America, or Japan, or whatever passport. But one thing is, the breakup of Nigeria is something that must happen, but the world will not let it to break. And that is the reason why a meeting has been called by the Yoruba kings to renew the fraudulent amalgamation. But this is what Obasanjo told us some few years back, that nobody is coming to save you. You must save yourself if you truly want to be free. Let's listen to how Obasanjo told us that.
Now, you see, you, Obina, you have everything going for you. And I don't want you to feel discouraged. Please, things are bad in Nigeria, but I believe it's only for a short time.
That is a word of criminals. Things are bad in Nigeria, but it's a short time. But they are living the biggest life of their life. Their family are doing very well. They have the network. But they are telling the average Yoruba man that cannot have 3 square meals that things are bad. Ọmọ Yorùbá bá sọjọ́ ní nǹkan dánilẹ̀ Yorùbá, nǹkan dání Nàìjíríà, àmọ́ ìyẹn ò ní kébi support Odùduwà Republic. But Ọbásanjọ́ mọ̀ pé tá a bá gbọ́ Odùduwà Republic, we can be able to hold everyone accountable, including myself. But Ọbásanjọ́ ní no, nǹkan ò dá lóòótọ́, àmọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká sì jọ wà nínú one Nigeria. So nígbà tó Ọbásanjọ́ mọ̀ pé things are bad, why then must it be bad unto the lives of many Yoruba people and those that are not Yorubas continue to struggle in this madness country that was created for nobody but for themselves, because Obasanjo is one out of many Nigerians that had the privilege to have enjoyed life after he killed during the Biafra War, fighting the war on behalf of Britain. The Biafra War was never a British-Nigeria war. It was a war between the Biafra and the British government. Ṣé ìjà ti sìn will be between the Yorubas and Britain? Time will tell. But the letter Igboho delivered is not a letter that nobody knows the content. But Baba Akintoye knows exactly what is in the content. And nobody, and I repeat, not even the British High Commissioner have any right to discuss on that letter, because it is a confidential letter and it will remain confidential until the breakup of Nigeria. The country Nigeria is now imminent to break up. But what we are saying is it can be done peacefully, and it still can be done peacefully. But we know that the agenda is for them not to allow Nigeria to break. And that is why one thing we ìpàdé ní November 7. The intelligence is stated clearly. 2 different meetings will happen on the day. One will be deceiving us. The other will make sure that the Yoruba people will continue to remain one Nigeria, whether you like it or not. Owaku Sawalowo is not about Baba Akintoye. It's not about Igboho. It's now about every Yoruba to tell Obasanjo that we are tired of Nigeria and you have no say to the life of Yoruba people. It is now us to decide. You will not decide on our behalf anymore, regardless of who you are or your status or whatever your agenda to one crazy Nigeria that was never a country before the 1914 amalgamation. Let's go back and listen. That is a Yoruba man crying out that Obasanjo is telling that you take time, things will get better. Yoruba man that is crying, things will get better. Obasanjo said so some few years back. But it is entirely up to Yoruba people to stand up and defend what belongs to them. Yoruba territory belongs to us, does not belong to Britain, does not belong to America, does not belong to any crazy international community. And we will defend that territory. We will not be able to fight it from here in Britain. We will not be able to fight it from America. But we can fight and defend the territorial ground of Yoruba land on that soil. The world must understand that the Yoruba people of today are different from the crazy ones that have managed to sublet and keep them under their toes. This generation will work tirelessly so that we can be free from the shackles of the international community, so that we don't need to japa to any madness country, so that we can be staying in this country for 15, 20 years, 25 years and looking for stupid immigration papers when we have everything. Ẹni máa kú ló máa kú ni, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ló máa gbáradì torí ogun bọ̀. I am saying it. The kings are signing a new Yoruba into Nigeria on the 7th of November. That is the intelligence, but they will not tell you this. I am telling you officially, gbogbo ìpàdé tó fẹ́ pè ní on the 7th is an agenda to keep Nigeria and Yoruba inside. Taba fail this time around. Every one of us will suffer the consequence of it. But I know that we will not fail. But listen again to a Yoruba man that is crying out and telling Obasanjo that ìlú yìí ti sú wa, olè ní gbogbo yín, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ dàlúrú, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ nínú Nàìjíríà, ó wá di àsìkò nísìn, kẹ́ make life easy fún gbogbo wa. Ẹ wá ń sọ fún wa pé ká lọ ṣe sùúrù, pé nǹkan ṣì máa dáa. Kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin nìkan, ọmọ Yorùbá ń sunkún, ọmọ Hausa ń sunkún nítorí pé wọ́n ti gbá àwọn yẹn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan. Now, let's go back again and listen to this Yoruba man crying out loud that ebi ń pa wá, ìyà ń jẹ wá, owó school ò ṣe san. Ṣáwọn ọmọ Ọbásanjọ́ ò rówó school san ni? Ṣé wọ́n rí scholarship ni? What the British does is that they offer scholarship for different groups of people and they put that scholarship and most of them pay nothing, not even accommodation. While you are looking for thousands of pounds to come and study in the UK, their children are living here for free and under a free full scholarship up to PhD while you are struggling, working on Uber, nurse, healthcare, COS, come and do this, come and do that. Everybody has japa, but we cannot take 30, 60 million of Yoruba people back home into UK. And UK remain the stumbling block to the breakup of Nigeria.
Gàrí ọ̀gá ti 1-2 ó ti sú mi, orílẹ̀-èdè ti sú mi, báyìí kọ́ ni wọ́n bá tẹ́lẹ̀, gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ní wá lára yìí ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ni wọ́n kà o.
Gbogbo àwọn tó ní wá lára yìí ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ lẹ́ka. You all have a quality education, yet millions of our people do not have access to good education again. Why then should we save this madness country? It is time that every Nigerian understand that the election that you conduct will never save you. There is no amount of election that can save Nigeria. I don't have any business in the north, and I don't have to visit the northern part of Nigeria because it's not Yoruba territory. I have no business in the southeast. I have no business in the middle belt. My business in the soil of Yoruba land, and we will fight to defend that land, even if many people will have to die, because that is the only option. If negotiation of peace is refused, we will fight with our last blood to save the Yoruba people from the madness of anyone, regardless of their status in the world. You do not own that part. We will make it ungovernable for you, just like Obasanjo said. Let's go back and listen to Obasanjo and leave that young man, because that young man will be given another bread. They're born bastard, and they will still vote again in 2027, forgetting that their life is miserable. Let's go back and listen to the craziness of what Obasanjo said some few years back.
Because now, you see, you, Obina, you have everything going for you. And I don't want you to feel discouraged. Please, things are bad in Nigeria, but I believe it's only for a short time. Because it depends on you. Whatever my generation might have done wrong, and I will be the first to admit that my generation has done a lot.
Obasanjo has admitted that his generation, their born bastard generation, have done wrong. If this generation fails to dissolve this fraudulent amalgamation, your life will remain miserable to death comes to you because you're not able to afford paracetamol.
What's wrong? It's for your generation to do it better. And don't just sit down and complain.
Many Nigerians are sitting down and complaining. The time for complaining has ended. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, gbogbo chichi-chacha nínú group. Olúkálùkù ló máa múra sílẹ̀, because we will come out, and we will come out in force. We will come out to defend the territory of Yoruba land, from Kwara to Kogi, from Ondo to Osun, from Oyo to Lagos to Ogun State. We will defend every part. Ẹni máa máa kú ló máa kú ni, ẹni máa yè ló máa yè. We will make sure that that territory is no longer governable for anyone until the dissolution of Nigeria. When that time is getting closer, You will find out. But like I said, November 7 is another agenda by the kings. Not all of them. Not all of them. But every king have been invited. I do not know who is going to sign and who is not going to sign. But our intelligence will tell me on the November 7, ẹni tó tọwọ́ bọ̀wé àtẹni tó tọwọ́ bọ̀wé. Gbogbo tó máa show fún yín láàárọ̀ títí dọ̀sán is all lies. Òru ló máa ṣèpàdé tó máa sign amalgamation Yorùbá padà sínú Nigeria. Go back and listen to Obasanjo again. I am not calling for war, just like Obasanjo never called for war. But we will push this bastard as far, so that we can save our life. Orí YouTube kọ́ láti máa gba Yorùbá nation. Orí Facebook kọ́, orí Twitter kọ́, orí Mixera. We will defend that territory. We will come back home. Ẹni máa kú ló máa kú, ẹni máa yè ló máa yè ni lọ́dọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀.
Don't just sit down and complain. Sitting down and complain is like the anger of the cripple. You're on the same time, you will be on the same ground, on the same level. But you have to be proactive.
We have to be proactive, and that's exactly what we are doing on a daily basis on this platform. Proactive. Bringing the world closer to your doorstep is what Koikimedia does. And that's exactly what we must prepare for. 2 years Britain prepared for the D-Day landing. We still have the ample of time to prepare enough to save ourselves from the shackles of the international criminal organization that are holding us backwards and expect us to apply for crazy visa to visit their country or even to apply for jobs. Let me state this clearly. Living abroad means nothing. Going back to our territory to save it is the only thing we can do with this generation. And this generation will exactly do as they say. Need a to pop. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people will disrupt the whole system, and that system will crumble. But we can still do all these without any confrontation. But if they think that we will sit behind the scene and be shouting to the camera will be shut down. Internet will go off. M1 ló máa padà di the end of Nigeria.
And you have to make sure you get enough of what I call critical mass of people, like-minded people, who will be ready to say, yes, we can bring about the change.
Nobody can bring about the change of Nigeria. Nobody. The world does not want Nigeria to remain a country that will work. It is an evil world that we are living. And it is better that we dissolve that entity. UK is just under 60 million. Wales, Scotland, England, and likewise, Belfast that I visited. The whole population of Belfast is not up to 500,000. I met many of their friends, and many people on my way to Belfast over the weekend. And shout out to those in Belfast. Nigeria we need a country of our own where everybody will be identified, just like each and every single one of us is identified in this country. If your children does not go to school in this country, you will receive an email. If your children is sick, you can take them to the hospital. You don't need to pay for it, even though some of us are paying through our taxes. We will not allow Nigeria to survive. We will strangulate it until it dies, and we will bury it so that the new nation will rise up out of the crazy country. You might think it's a joke. It is getting closer.
And you can bring about a change if you get the critical mass of people that are ready to slug it out.
We will slug it out, just like Obasanjo says. I am using the same word and phrase of Obasanjo. I am not calling for war, but we must prepare for crisis. That crisis will rise up from the corners of Ogun State, from the corners of Kwara, from the corners of 191 local government. We will shut down the whole of Southwest. Not even America will be able to do so to solve the problem. Rather, they will intervene to make sure that the breakup of Nigeria will finally come true. Not UK will be able to stop it. even with their agenda for November 7th. By putting the Yoruba kings, we know some of them are loyal, but some of them are corrupt, and they've been like that for a very long time. This is the time that we are telling them, ẹ má jẹ́ ká gbójú náwó yín. We still love you, we respect you, and we will leave it like that. But if you think that you can dare us, we will tell you, ìṣẹ̀ṣe ò ní gbé gbogbo yín pátápátá, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sá kò ní ràn wá. Because the end of Nigeria la wà, ó má jẹ́ pé palace kankan yín la máa jó. And that's exactly what I mean. A máa jó palace kankan, lẹ́yọ kankan, if we come to find out that you are signing a fraudulent amalgamation to keep us in Britain that have suffered millions of Yoruba people in this country. Gbogbo palace yìí la máa jó lẹ́yọ kankan láṣẹ Èdùmàrè.
I always say when people say, hey, well, when will this old hag go out of the way politically? They won't go out of the way.
This bomb bastard won't go out of the way. So if anybody thinks that what Obasanjo is saying is not true, Obasanjo knows exactly that this bastard, they're not going to go out of the way. It is time for us to tell them bluntly, a máa jó palace yín ni, lẹ́yọ kankan láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. When that time comes, ẹ̀yin gan ní gbéná wò tán. We are telling you now, ẹ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀, ká dissolve Nigeria. Ọmọ Yorùbá ń jìyà ní Libya, ọmọ Yorùbá ń jìyà ní Qatar, the America, all over the world. Millions of us are suffering, and our family cannot continue to suffer while we live here and think that we are enjoying life. We will make life ungovernable for you bastard politician. It is getting closer. Ẹ lọ máa múra sílẹ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá. Àsìkò yẹn súnmọ́ bọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀. And I will be returning home when that time comes. Ó kù díẹ̀ ni.
You have to make them go out of the way. They won't voluntarily go out of the way.
Think that these criminals will voluntarily leave the post for you, bastard. They're not going to leave the post. They will suppress you with their criminal talk. They will kill you. But we will not kill anybody. But we will bring the crisis that will make Nigeria ungovernable at the appropriate time. Well, can you announce the date? That date is not something that you announce. It will start spontaneous, like the killing of George Floyd in America that ended many criminality of the slave trade that took us back for over 500 years. Yoruba people will rise. The world does not want us to rise. But we will rise up, whether the world likes it or not. And we can see exactly how King Charles was disgraced in Australia just about a couple of days ago, I believe yesterday, when the indigenous people were telling him to his face that we own Australia. Britain does not own Australia. Britain does not own Yoruba land. America does not own Yoruba land. Not China, not India. We can work with every country of the world. We are ready to work with you as a new country. But we will make it really difficult for you if you do not support us in the near future. Because we know some of you are working with the agenda of the Fulanis to keep us together in Nigeria. The end of Nigeria is now. If you kill me, millions of me will rise up and they will even do worse than me. Let us negotiate now. And nobody can kill when the time has not come. I will be alive to witness a Yoruba nation. And my children will return back to Yoruba land. I will return every single one of them back to Yoruba land. They're listening to me. So if you think that we are joking, this time around, it is not a joke. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, ẹ lọ máa múra sílẹ̀.
You have to make it uncomfortable for them. I'm not talking of violence, but bringing.
Nobody's talking about violence, but we are just preparing our mind for any eventualities. This is not NSAS. This is not all the riot. This will be the biggest crisis that Nigeria would ever be able to contain. Yoruba will leave Nigeria peacefully, but we will not live peacefully if you refuse to allow us to live peacefully. We will work for peace. And that is exactly why Igboho delivered the letter on behalf of our leader, Professor Abanja Fitoye, the man that believes in the vision of the Yoruba people, that Yoruba has every right to remain one and remain outside the crazy Nigeria. But again, who among the Yorubas are against Yoruba having its own independence? In exactly 20 minutes, I will open the phone line so that you can also put a call through and give us your own views and opinion on the platform Koikimedia this afternoon.
Pressure should be there to make it uncomfortable for them. They will go out of the way. Now, you see,
just about some few years. That video is not last year. I think it's about 2 years ago. We are not sitting here as we are not creating any stupidity, but we are telling the world that you dare not try us. This time around, the world is a bigger place. The world must allow people that wants to be free to be free. You cannot put us together if we don't want to live together. We will leave Nigeria and we will live however we want to live. So let's come back into the conversation. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé a kú oríire pé àsìkò ń súnmọ́ ọjọ́ náà pẹ́ mọ́ gbogbo ẹni tó bá ní kò ní dé èyí ni àní dé bá. Mo kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ wà nípò kíá, mo kí gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. 191 local government, but with no electricity, with nothing that is working, and with the deceit of the criminal politicians to hold us back. At exactly 1700 hours. Remember that this is a platform that also needs your support. There's no doubt about it, I always say. For us to remain on this platform, we will also ask for your voluntary contribution so that we can be able to expand. Many of our team are ready to work, but we need you to make sure that we can work tirelessly using this platform. So if you'd like to support us, that is the details of how you can do so. As we always say, it is ethical that as an independent media, we continue to seek your voluntary donation and support to this platform so that we can upgrade. And I hope my camera is good. I'm looking right there. I'm still confused that I have my camera here. I have my camera right in front of me. That is why I'm looking on that direction. And I hope it is more than clear enough. We're still working. We couldn't give you all the best. When we were in Belfast, the lighting was not very good. We also had a lot of issues with our media communication on the dinner day. But I hope that you all witnessed and saw that the D-Day on Raleigh. Let me say thank you so much to my brother that flew all the way from Miami, Aziz, for making sure that whatever we lost out during the dinner, we were able to cover it up, during the rally. And he was the one handing the phone. I'm sure you now understand why, it's not easy. When I always have 3 phones or 4 phones. When I'm outside, I have like 4 different phones. But let me say thank you so much to Aziz. Let me quickly use the opportunity to welcome you all into the program. If it's your first time watching me, you've never seen me before, like, who is this crazy guy? Yes, one crazy guy will start something and we end it as well. Omo Jebulawa, we don't do halfway. Hello, history Jebu Britain. We were the one that gave them the biggest threat of their life, and we are ready to do the same thing. If you think I am the only one, I can tell you that there's many different groups that will not put out on the social media that are the same Ijebu with me. If you think that it's just about Koikimedia, you are daring us. Do not dare us, because this time around, we will make sure it is a finished job. So, Moki Bobo Yoruba, the number to call to the studio is +44 74 04 405 on the screen. I will only take calls up to 20 minutes to the hour to end the program. After that, if you call, I'll not take your call. This is the time if you also want to add your input to the conversation. Muki Babawa, Professor Adebanji Akitoye, we love you, Father. Like I said to you, we will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and we will make sure that we enlighten and educate our people. We will return back with our program of prosperity that Baba Akitoye asks us to continue to recite, to read to you. That will happen, probably from next week. But this week, we will focus more on the meeting that is coming up in November 7th and some other. I don't care whatever problem is in Nigeria right now. I pray for more problem. I pray for dollar to be $3,000 to 1. I pray for your petrol to go 4,000. I pray for the worst to happen so that you bastard, wake up to know that the reason why you can have crude oil in Ondo State, the reason why you have gold in Osun State, maybe that will rise your brain up. Nobody will get freedom from Tesco. Nobody buy freedom at ShopRite. Freedom is fought and won, and it is a battle that we must prepare our mind. So we go straight to the first caller. If you want to greet me, if not, just go straight to the point, because to mute the background, and mute it, and you're live with me. You can call direct and let me contest the number, and maybe that person is just testing. If you're calling, please mute the one in your house. The number to call is +44, is the number on the screen, but for the benefit of my listeners on Instagram and those that are watching me on I don't have TikTok because another crazy platform that I remove myself from. But also, if you're listening to us on the platform, you can also join. We are not Igbos, so we will not do whatever the Igbos are doing. But they want their freedom, we will also have our own freedom. So don't come and tell me they are doing woto there. Our own woto is different, and we must respect them, and they should respect our platform as well. If they like, they should do whatever they want to do with Bola Tinubu. That is not my problem. I and Igbo will continue to fly around, and we're enjoying it that way. Go ahead, caller. Background one there. Cause caller pop.
Àwọn Yorùbá ní àsìkò petition yẹn olùfà emergency meeting àwọn ọba yẹn kò jẹ́ sí nǹkan tó máa ṣe sí àwa dúró tán lágbára Ọlọ́run bá sojú alágbára Ọlọ́run ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ bó ṣe yẹn pàdé kó nìkan o àwọn ọmọ gómìnà gan àwọn ọmọ retí àárẹ̀ tí àsìkò yẹn àwọn ọmọ gómìnà lè.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. Eshegoni. Thank you. Eshegoni. Thank you so much. Let me come straight. I believe I have somebody that wants to join on Twitter space. Okay, I can't find the person anymore. Let's take more calls. Number Latikpeni +44. If you're calling, you can call direct or you can call on WhatsApp. But if I put direct, I'm about WhatsApp and you need to override it. Go on WhatsApp. Good afternoon, welcome to the program. Okay. Hold on, I just sorry. Hold on. Okay. Eshegoni. We have another caller. Go ahead, caller. You're live on the program.
Hello, Yomi.
I'm going.
Torí àwọn ọba yẹn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sá.
Ọtí tá a bá dáná sí wọn lójú.
Sọgbọ́n ẹ̀ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni.
Tábà ìdáná sí wọn lójú wọn ò ní mọ̀ pé a ti rẹ́dì lórí ẹ̀.
Àgbọ̀yé.
Nǹkan tèmi fẹ́ sọ nìyẹn. A máa dáná sí wọn lójú ní eléyìí tí ó bá sọ́pọ̀tì wa. Ó jẹ́ pé ó máa fọjọ́ ó máa fi ṣàṣọ̀bùra ni ó máa ṣe ọ̀nú ẹ̀.
Eshegoni. Hold on, Mr. Michael. Eshegoni bàbá wa. Gbogbo àwọn tó bá fẹ́ dá sí ẹgbẹ́ òun sókè torí pé ẹ̀rù kan gbọ́dọ̀ bà wá mọ́ àwa la nílẹ̀ Britain kan ló nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ló nílẹ̀ ìtàbádẹ́ fẹ́ láwọn bá wa bọ́rọ̀ bá wa fẹ́ wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ sign any amalgamation torí intelligent yẹn sọ fún mi pé wọ́n máa sign amalgamation mi ní November 7 and we must resist them. Eshegoni sir.
Àwọn arúgbó wọn a máa káwọ́ kan tó fẹ́ ṣe.
Eshegoni. We will monitor them and we will continue to monitor. Ẹgbọ́n sókè láti the other line as well. Nọ́mbà méjì làwọn èèyàn ń pè. Ẹgbọ́n sókè alàgbà ti wà lórí ètò. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sà.
Ọláyọmí Kóìkì the white boy lion.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sà.
Ọlọ́run á fún wa dúró.
Ẹṣẹ́ ìdùnnú rẹ̀.
Gbogbo ìmọ̀ burúkú tí wọ́n bá ń fi ní orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá Ọlọ́run á dàrú mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́.
Bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn láṣẹ ìdùnnú rẹ̀.
Ọlọ́run sọ pé orílẹ̀-èdè ni wá. Ọmọ òmìnira ni wà ní ìṣerú. Mo dẹ̀rọ̀ pé lórúkọ Jésù Ọlọ́run gbà fún wa.
Àmín Jésù Kristi.
Ṣùgbọ́n mi ò tí ì má bá dúpẹ́ tí àwa kan múra. Láàárọ̀ yìí mo sì fún bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan sọ̀rọ̀ tó sì tàn nígbàgbọ́ nínú wọn Nàìjíríà. Ó sì tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí. Ìwọ̀n tó ń sọ fún mi pé Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká gbé o. Àwọn ọ̀gbádùn ẹ̀ o. Pé kò sọ Nàìjíríà ní ìjà lọ́jẹ́ káwọn Haúsá ọmọ ìdìbò Tinubu. Adela, èmi dẹ̀ sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ ti kọjá wọ Nàìjíríà, ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ lè ní ká. Bóyá wọn yẹn ò tí ìdàgbàgbà tí ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ wáyé bọ̀ àgbàlagbà náà ni. Gbogbo òwe tí mo kà láyé mi ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ni èmi ò bá ti fẹ́ sí tí àwọn èèyàn fi sí bóyá wọn fẹ́ pọ̀ wọn ni. Mi ò tí mo bá ti fẹ́ ṣe tí àwọn èèyàn fi sí ọ̀dì mọ̀ pé tó bá dẹ̀ ti kò àti sùn ẹ̀mú pọ̀ ó là.
Crisis ló máa end up. Crisis tá a bá ti bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá ti gbọ́ ó máa di crisis ni kò sọ́gbọ́n ẹ̀ kólúkàkú lọ múra sílẹ̀ crisis ni. So crisis ni ó bẹ́tà ká slow Nigeria down than kí Nigeria túbọ̀ slow wa down. Ẹ ti gbọ́ nǹkan tó bá sanjọ́ sọ. So bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn. Gbogbo àwọn tó sì ní àwọn ọ̀fẹ́ yẹn ẹ má bá wọn jà ká túbọ̀ máa pètò sí wọn nínú. A máa wọ́ wọn débẹ̀ nítorí ọmọ àlè lẹ́lòmínú wọn ọmọ àfi tí wọ́n dá wa dúró ni. 15 years ní ìlú yìí bí mo ṣe nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìlú ìtó tí mo dẹ̀ ṣe nífẹ̀ẹ́ but 15 years kó tó fún mi níwèé láti lè sọ pé mo fẹ́ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ ṣé máa gba ìwé kí n tó ṣiṣẹ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni mo ní ìdíwé náà so ó bẹ́tà ká slow wọn down nílẹ̀ Yorùbá than kó kọ́ slow gbogbo wa down nílẹ̀ ẹ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni thank you so much thank you +447404405917 this is the time ẹ bá wa ṣe ní ṣúkúṣúkú gbogbo ẹni tó fẹ́ pè àsìkò tó láti pè wọlé kí a gbọ́ látọ̀dọ̀ ti yín nítorí pé November 7 tí wọ́n ti pè pàdé ó dá lórí lẹ́tà tí a gbé lọ sí number 10 Downing Street àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan míì tí ó fẹ́ jáde tí àìtí sọ síta àmọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká gba pè yìí ẹgbọ́n sókè alàgbà tó ń pè wá ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
ẹ wá sá bọ̀dá mi ṣe ní nǹkan tẹ́mi kàn fẹ́ sọ ní rálì Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ ká jáde ká ṣe rálì àwọn tó bá jẹ́ akọ wọ́n jáde tó jẹ́ akọni so that ọ̀hún fífẹ́ máa fẹ́ àtàkì wa kí kásálà lè ṣẹlẹ̀ láti bẹ̀ ká bójú ara wa jẹ́.
bí sójà bá tẹ̀ ti pọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá kan ó ti wọ wàhálà this time around gbogbo ìtẹ́ ṣe fún wa ní gbogbo time tí ẹ ṣe yẹn àmójúkúrò ni bí sójà pa ọmọ Yorùbá pàtó ọlọ́pàá kan this time around international community ló máa wá lájà gbogbo wa torí 2 fighting ló máa di not 1 anymore táà ń pé nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì alágbà yẹn kò lọ dáadáa ẹ ká fi sílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ so a kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí aṣèwà lórí ìkànnì tí wọ́n ń pè ní Koikimedia níbi tí a ti ń review gbogbo tó ṣẹlẹ̀ in just a week ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń lọ gbogbo ẹ̀ dákẹ́ rọ́rọ́ ẹ rí i pé gbogbo ẹ̀ dákẹ́ rọ́rọ́ nítorí pé wọ́n mọ̀ pé àwọn kankan ń lọ lábẹ́lẹ̀ tí a fẹ́ gbé jáde tí a dey expose so that is what is creating all these conversations eléyìí sọ tiẹ̀ ọ̀hún sọ tiẹ̀ I am not going to respond to every one of them but àwọn tá a fẹ́ respond sí gangan òun làwọn bá wa and like I said we still believe in them but if they think that we cannot do nothing a lot will happen and nobody will be able to stop it so let us deliberate how we can exit this mad country so that kálọ̀ ní country tiwa so that we can be part look the world is big nobody should fool anybody Britain cannot fool us we are not stupid kì í ṣe ọ̀dẹ̀ America cannot fool us China, Germany, India, France. Imagine if you're traveling by Air France. Tó o bá ní Shanghai, I'm talking about people that doesn't have, British passport and American passport. Tó o máa gba Shanghai before you can travel with Air France. What kind of madness is that? We cannot live in this kind of madness anymore. So the world is a big place. Omi dẹ̀ ló kún gbogbo ilé ayé yìí. So nobody should be telling us that, we need to remain in one Nigeria. When even Britain has 4 countries inside it, like I said, the end of Nigeria is not a spiritual, it is a fight that will happen in our lifetime. Ẹgbọ́n sókè ní kíákíá 2 minutes.
For the program, ṣẹ́rí gbogbo nǹkan tó yẹ ká máa ṣe ń sìn mí ní parọ́ fún yín pẹ̀lú pé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ ṣe mítìnì yẹn ó yẹ ká ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kí nǹkan kan ti máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí i láti ó jẹ́ pápẹ́ fà ó jẹ́ pápá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pariwo Yorùbá nation láti weekend kí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa ṣe rálì wọ́n máa lọ sí àwọn ọba ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kọ́ tó sọ fún bàbá àmọ́ wọ́n ń pè yìí sí mítìnì yìí tó bá débẹ̀ tó bá sọ pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe amalgamation lórí kan lórí mi ìmọ̀ dídọ́ bí wọ́n gbé mítìnì yẹn fẹ́ gbé lọ sí Èkó kí ló fẹ́ ṣe Elégùṣì ní ọba tó tóbi nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni tó fẹ́ gbé mítìnì yẹn lọ síbẹ̀ wọ́n lè tún fi Èkó fi sáìnì Yorùbá padà sínú amalgamation aláti máa lọ kàn sílé àwọn ọba lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan èyí tí ò bá ní lọ ó máa lọ ṣùgbọ́n èyí tó bá lọ síbẹ̀ táwọn kò máa lọ síbẹ̀ ká lọ sílé wọn tó bá lọ síbẹ̀ tó jáde bí amalgamation lọ́dọ̀ fìlẹ̀ ayé wa sí èké kò sí nǹkan nífà kò ní ìjọba mọ̀ bóyá ká ti lẹ́yìn yẹn ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ ló yẹ ká ti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí èyí tó bá ti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ òṣì ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí tó ń gbé fídíò sí lójú kí wọ́n yẹ̀yẹ́ ọba náà kí ló dé wọ́n fẹ́ pa wá máa yé ni àbí ikú wo làwọn èèyàn wa ò tí ikú ebi ń pa wọ́n ikú oró ń pa wọ́n Fúlàní ń ṣe tiẹ̀ then you still want us to continue with that same Nigeria aláàṣẹ mọ́ wọ́n gbé díẹ̀ sí ti parí.
ẹ ó dà yẹ kí Kọ́lá yìí sọ̀rọ̀ kankan tó sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ó dà.
aláti máa gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tàbí máa gbé kò ń ṣe ìgbésẹ̀ tó a fẹ́ ọmọlúwàbí wa àwọn bàbá wa bàbá ò ń sọ fún yín pé tó bá jẹ́ pé ká rí ọba títí kan ká tẹ̀ sí lójú lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ká gbé kámẹ́rà sí ká gbá bí tó bá da ká jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé ẹ fẹ́ lọ sáyò nǹkan tó yẹ ká máa ṣe ẹgbẹ́ àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ṣe pé àwọn leaders wọn wọ́n ti ẹ̀ dá sí wọn mọ́ wọ́n fi àwọn yóòtù wọn lẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Nigerian government kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ṣe wọn bí nǹkan nù ọ̀hánẹ́sì àbí kíngì wọn dá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn bàbá olórí burúkú àwọn ìṣòro ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àwọn Yorùbá lábẹ́ dá Nàìjíríà yẹn àwọn sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ máa lọ Ìgbò tí àwọn fẹ́ máa lọ kí làwọn fi ń dùn kí là ń mú nù Nàìjíríà kí là ń mú.
ẹ ṣe gan ni brother wa torí àsìkò ni kí là ń mú nínú Nàìjíríà òun ní ìbéèrè tí ó gbẹ̀yìn kọ́là tí ó pè tán ẹni tó wà lórí afẹ́fẹ́ ẹ bá gbóhùnsókè náà ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa.
Mr. Brother mi Koiki máa mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe òun yín ò ní ha làákàyè yín ò dẹ̀ ní dáa. ṣẹ̀rí níbi tọ́rọ̀ dé dúró yìí èmi ń rí pé there are some things tí ó jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ tí ẹ̀ tí mọ̀.
àgbọ́yé ẹ ṣe wa.
máa dẹ̀ tan ìmọ́lẹ̀ kékeré sí àwọn nǹkan yẹn fún yín. ṣẹ̀rí regional government tí wọ́n ń wá yẹn wọn ò lè rí nítorí pé Ọlọ́run fúnra rẹ̀ ló dé tó fẹ́ jà fún ìran Yorùbá. ìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì tó jẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ́ kókó bẹ̀ ni pé olórí oko yín president yín ó ti gba ìyálàjà ilẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ oil block 8 lòun nìkan ni. tẹ bá gba Yorùbá nation mọ gbogbo property yẹn wọ́n máa gbà padà nǹkan tó ń ṣe ń dá gbogbo ọgbọ́n nìyẹn. oríṣiríṣi half-work tí wọ́n ti commit wọ́n mọ̀ pé gbogbo property yẹn ó máa lọ. kìdí ẹ̀ ń ṣòwò nìkan àti Saheed Elegushi fúnra rẹ̀ àtàkìn Olú fúnra rẹ̀ àti Sanwó-Olú of Lagos gbogbo wọn yẹn ọwọ́ wọn ti wọṣọ lọ. ṣùgbọ́n advice tèmi ni pé bàbá ọ̀ ni mo fàṣìkò sọ fún bàbá ọ̀ ni kọ́ ṣọ́ra wọn dáadáa bí tọ́rọ̀ dé dúró yìí pé tó bá dé ojú ọlọ́mọ òmọ́mọ́ kó má di pé bàbá fúnra wọn ó máa fara káṣá ní ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lẹ̀ yóò bẹ́tà kọ́ ṣọ́ra wọn bí tọ́rọ̀ dé dúró yìí kọ́ ṣọ́ ara wọn gidi kọ́ má fi àgbàlagbà ara kọ́ má fi wọlẹ̀ torí pé ní ojú èèyàn mọ̀ nígbà tó bá di pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé ẹni tó bí bá ń pa kò rẹ́dí láti ẹ̀tí lísìn séèyàn.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ parọ́.
so nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ni mo sọ fún yín yẹn ìtorí nǹkan tó ti fún ipò ìbàjẹ́ tó ti ṣe lọ fẹ́ try láti protect àwọn nǹkan yẹn kò dẹ̀ ṣe protect.
so kíyàwó jẹ ìran kan àbí.
champion forever.
so ìyá láti wá jẹ ìran kan torí àwọn. so mo ní so ìyá máa jẹ ìran kan torí mo ní ìyá máa jẹ ìran kan torí àwọn kan àbí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
ó dà ok Olódùmarè wà pẹ̀lú wa mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí ẹ ṣé gan ni brother mi gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ pè mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà nínú gbogbo group ẹ jẹ́ ká túbọ̀ create ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ awareness lóòótọ́ I'm gonna put pressure on baba professor a gbọ́dọ̀ padà sórí títì as quickly as possible with our rally from rally ní tó bá máa fẹ́ dì ló máa dì like I always say it is not some of us are not ready to come back not every diaspora will return back home. But we are going to come back and it is time gbogbo àbá kọ̀ọ̀kan gbogbo ẹni tó bá jọmọ ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan ẹ pé àwọn ọba yín ẹ sọ fún wọn pé kọ́ má lọ tọwọ́ bọ ìwé kankan tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbé síwájú wọn. Britain is putting a lot of pressure lórí àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pé kó jáde láti wá deny pé àwọn ọmọ kankan nípa Yorùbá nation. And some of them are ready to sacrifice. Irú àwọn bomb bastard, àwọn Elégùṣì kankan yẹn, àwọn ìrìnsẹ̀ ọba lójú mi anyway. But what àwa tí a jẹ́ ọba ta ní àwọn ọba gidi, ó dúró tì wá, ẹ túbọ̀ sọ fún wọn pé kọ́ba kankan má jáde o, láti wá sign any amalgamation. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tẹ́ bá wa ṣe ní kódà mo tẹ̀ tí wo gbogbo picture tẹ́ bá mi yà yẹn. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín pé ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní dinner, ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní rally. Mo sọ pé òun ṣe gbogbo wa ní ghost. Gbogbo wa náà la máa pàdé láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà. Ikú kan ní yọ wá lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan láàárín àwọn òbí wa, láàárín àwọn olólùfẹ́ wa. Bọ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn tó jẹ́ ọ̀tálẹ̀ Yorùbá máa ta jẹ́yìn sílẹ̀ ni. There is no doubt about it. Ìjà tá à ń jà yìí kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ social media. A máa ní kó pa internet. Àbí jẹ́ kí internet kò ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tá a bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ jà yẹn. So that n tó bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tá a bá máa jà tán, àwọn ayé gan á mọ̀ pé yes, ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń jà ní wá. Kì í bẹ̀rù ìyẹn kankan máa doubt it. We will fight to the end to save us from the shackles of the IMF and the World Bank and the criminal countries around the world that want us to be begging them for visa so that we can leave the offshore of Nigeria. Ẹgbọ́n sókè ẹ̀gbọ́n mi bro Abiodun.
Yes, ẹ kú ètò sá, ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ sá. Ẹ wo ṣe rí agenda wọn yìí honestly ṣé Èkó gan ló yẹ kó gbé meeting sí? Ṣé Èkó ni orísun àwọn ọba nílẹ̀ Yorùbá? Lọ́lọ́ gbé meeting sí Èkó. That's number one fraud. Lọ́mọ bí lè capture àwọn kan àwọn ọba yẹn. Ọba tó bá dẹ̀ decide any condition òun àti ilé ẹ̀ wọ́n máa jó àfihàn ni wọ́n máa parun ni. There's no doubt about it. So ọmọ Yorùbá kan bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lọ máa gbára gidi kan gbára gidi ni. So this time around no going back. Yorùbá nation no going back.
No going back ẹ ṣe gan ni brother mẹ́jà lọ sí Germany. No going back kò ń ṣe tẹnu. No going back with a serious mission. Ẹ bá mute background láti Germany. Ẹ mute yẹn tẹ́ fi ń gbọ́ mi yẹn. Ẹ bá mute ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ pátápátá. Mo ti gbé call yín. Germany number. Ẹ bá mute. Ẹ ń gbọ́ra yín nínú ilé. You are listening to yourself again. Ẹ bá mute. Ìtẹ́ ń gbọ́ nínú ilé. Kọ́là tó ń pè láti Germany náà là ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ tún gbọ́ra yín nínú ilé. Ẹ mute yẹn sẹ́. All right, I'm gonna disconnect. Ẹ lè máa play tinúlé kẹ́ tó máa pè. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ fi kan sílẹ̀ ni. You can't call and be listening to yourself on the TV. You have to disconnect the TV by just mute. Ẹ dẹ̀ máa wo screen nìkan. A lot of people don't understand that. Ẹ pé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá jáde. Any amalgamation ti expire. But wọ́n fẹ́ renew ẹ̀. And we must not tolerate and allow that. If we do, we are all going to be not just slaves, but we have sold out entirely. Hello, caller.
Okay, now ńkọ́.
Ó bẹ́tà ní sangbọ́n sà.
Kẹ́hìndé ló ń bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ Ọláyọmí ẹ káalẹ́ o.
Ẹ káalẹ́ bàbá, ẹ káalẹ́ sà.
Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ ṣé àlàáfíà.
Àdúpẹ́.
Gbogbo nǹkan tá a dún máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Kò sí iwájú la máa lọ, iwájú lọ pẹ́ tètè sí òjẹ́ ti gbọ́. Ká má ṣubú rárá, à ń lọ lágbára Ọlọ́run.
By fire by force.
Ó sì máa rí nìyẹn o, wá gbọ́dọ̀ dúdú o. Ẹ ti gbọ́ a máa gbọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè wa padà lágbára Ọlọ́run. Mo kí yín, mo tún kí yín, ẹ kúṣẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá. Moment tó ń sọ̀rọ̀.
Olúwa ọlá ni bàbá líle wa pátápátá.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni sà.
Àṣe igi la máa ṣe ẹ ti tọ́.
Àmín. Àmín.
Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí bàbá mi kàn wá là ń rí yẹn o. Mo sọ ní àìpẹ́ mo ní wọ́n máa gbójú síta ẹ ti ń rojú wọn báyìí. Àwọn tí ò fẹ́ kó jẹ́ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n àtúnṣọ oníkàlùkù ṣọ́ra ẹ̀ ẹnikẹ́ni tí ò bá ti lọ́wọ́ sí pípé Yorùbá lọ ó ṣe wá láàánú fún wọn o. Ó ti kẹ́ni yẹn lè jẹ́ torí bàbá ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fáwọn wa o. Àpọ́sù iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ni kò dẹ̀ máa ń sọ nǹkan tó bá ní ká sọ là ń sọ. Ìyá ti wà kí Yorùbá ti ń bẹ kí Nàìjíríà tó dé. Àwọn ló wá bọ́ wa lórí ilẹ̀ wa wá láti ilẹ̀. Nàìjíríà kan ló ní ilẹ̀ o. Nàìjíríà ò ní sọ orílẹ̀ àwọn èdè ní àwọn èdè tó pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ gan-an ṣùgbọ́n Yorùbá ní ṣe fẹ́ kó wù lọ ó lè máa lọ. Ó ti dìrí ìyẹn mú kí ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni dábì. Thank you so much. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo kí gbogbo ìyá wa gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé a ti wà nínú another second amalgamation tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbé wa lọ. And this is nothing more than the truth because ìjẹ́ndà tí mo ṣe sọ wọ́n ti máa ń ṣe ìpàdé kọ̀kọ̀ for a very long time in Nigeria. Wàá ṣe meeting kan nísìn tó bá máa dòru wàá ṣe second meeting. Tí lè bá fẹ́ mọ́ wá tún ṣe another meeting. The meeting on the 7th of November tó ń bọ̀ yìí is an agenda to keep us again in Nigeria. the world wants Yoruba to be free, but not every part of the world. Britain doesn't want Nigeria to be free. There's no doubt about it. Britain does not want Nigeria to be free, but we can only free ourselves if we are truly ready. Ẹ wọ́n àwọn ọba pé kọ́ má dáùtì tó lè ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá o, kọ́ má mogun wá o, kò sẹ́ni kankan tó fẹ́ ogun nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. We want to exit Nigeria peacefully, and our right to self-determination will be respected. The world is big enough. We have our land, we have our culture, we have the people. So that is the path and the rules of engagement to have a country. We are not encroaching the north, we are not encroaching the southeast, the middle belt. We only want to keep our own territory, and that is exactly what is going to happen. Nobody should put a doubt that the Yoruba people will remain in Nigeria because Nigeria is no longer working for us. Hello, caller. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì wa. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sà. Ẹ káàárọ̀ sà. Àṣẹ Èdùmàrè.
There's question tí mo fẹ́ gbé lọ́wọ́ Fúlàní wọn ẹ̀ àtàwùjá.
Wọ́n gbọ́ yín.
Kí ló ń tàn lẹ́rù láti fi wálẹ̀? Kí ló ń tàn lẹ́rù láti yà láti ṣe? Ìgbà kó tó pàṣẹ kí ló ń bà wọ́n lẹ́rù?
Britain ló ń keep wọn pé kọ́ máa ti jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó pín, bọ̀wọ́ pé lọ́ọ̀kì àwọn bá wa pẹ̀lú wọn. Ìyẹn lọ Ọbásanjọ́ ṣe lọ bá Ọbásanjọ́ níjẹta. Àwọn tó lọ bá Ọbásanjọ́ mú ìtìkà tí kò yẹn tán ni. Máa padà láti kà fún yín. Wọ́n rán wọn pé kọ́ lọ bá Ọbásanjọ́, but Ọbásanjọ́ kọ́ ló instigate ìpàdé àwọn ọba. But there's a lot happening. So tó ń ṣe ni pé wọ́n ń kó àwọn tó jẹ́ àgbààgbà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n ń pè wọ́n mọ́ra pé kọ́ lọ wọ́n àwọn Ìgbòho àti Bàbá Akíntóyè àtàwọn mídíà wọn pé kọ́ gbẹnu sọ̀hún pé Nigeria will remain one until táwọn bá ready. Àwọn làwọn fẹ́ sọ̀gbà táwọn bá ready. Àwa la gbọ́dọ̀ sọ fún wọn káwa ti ready. A dẹ̀ ti ready yẹn léèní la mean, and that is why I said it. If care is not taken, àwọn bá máa dá ogun sílẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, and that is the reason why àwọn kọ́ ló máa listen sí Britain anymore. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ listen sáwọn àtàjọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ ni. Ká jókòó nítorí ọmọlúwàbí kájọ yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀.
Ọlọ́run àmọ́ ayé o.
Àṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Àṣẹ. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gan-an dáàdì wa. Ẹ fún mi ní 5 minutes. Ẹ gbọ́ nǹkan táwa Arẹwà sọ. Ibi tẹ́tí máa mọ̀ pé wọ́n ti prepare láti fi Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀. Kí ló wá ń fà á tí gbogbo àṣìfẹ́ wà ní wọn Nàìjíríà? Let's listen to this. Ẹ má bínú, I play padà again. Apparently this particular clip mo mọ tó máa ń ṣe, kò ń pick audio máa jáde nísìn. Ẹ má bínú sí mi. and I went upstairs. But we should jáde nísìn mo rí pé people were saying no voice. Audio máa jáde nísìn. We'll start the video all over again. Ẹ má bínú sí mi. So the audio will come back out in a minute. Audio máa jáde padà nísìn. Thank you so much. Ẹ má bínú lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Majority of us, including myself, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This clip is titled Alleged Regional Government Bill in Circulation, if true, overtaken by events. A document alleging to be a bill submitted by Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly seeking to reverse and to amend the 1999 Constitution and give regions independence from the central. In other words, going back to regional government arrangement. It's in circulation all over the social media. If this bill is true, and I hope it is true, my message is clear that the bill has been overtaken by events. What preponderance of Nigerians need now is not regional government, but they want an independent country of their own. Regional government belongs to the past. Currently, the agitation is for self-determination, for all regions, ethnic nationalities wishing to have their own country. Anything short of that is chasing the wild goose and will not pass the passage of time. I will not see the daylight. Indeed, what Nigerians are going through now, the way and manner we are being collectively mismanaged, we are being assaulted, we are being pauperized, we are being reduced into pitiable combustible materials, we are being reduced into beggars, into slaves by the Bola Tinubu regime is emboldening many of us who were formerly against breaking of Nigeria into smaller nations. We are now reversing ourselves. Majority of us, including myself, who was formerly against smaller nations out of Nigeria, is now fully committed to having Nigeria broken into different countries out of choice or out of compulsion, so that we can go and manage ourselves in our own way, in our own speed, in our own style, cognizance of taking into consideration our culture, our beliefs, our socialization, our meaning, if you like. We are tired of a central government where everybody has been made to become a slave. Everybody has been reduced, except the few who are milking the country high, empty, and dry, who are stealing our collective patrimony, collective resources, who are sending us fear and terror, who are deceiving us every day, every night, every hour, every week, every month, all year through. And therefore, those who are thinking that a bill to take Nigeria back to the are doing any favor, they are making the biggest mistake. That is not what Nigerians need. What Nigerians need is dissolution of Nigeria into smaller nations, out of choice or out of compulsion, in peace, not in pieces. Anything short of that will not see the light of the day, will not address the current challenges, will only be.
Now, these are one of the leaders of the Arewas coming out to say that, look, if the bill, which is a fraud, nowhere ni Bola Tinubu gbé bill kankan síta fún regional government. I have said this enough of time. But Yoruba people, tá bá sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ máa lọ sọ́dọ̀ Phoenix, that criminal website. You keep sharing that all the time. We have a website that our team are working daily. We are not making money on the website. Ẹ ní lọ sórí website Koikimedia, kẹ́ lọ mú news níbẹ̀. Ẹ máa lọ sí Phoenix, the same website tó gbé olóyè síta nísìn pé olóyè gba owó kan lọ́wọ́ èèyàn kan. Ìyẹn dẹ̀ ló máa yá yín láti máa share. I don't know why you are doing that, because you are also helping that platform that is against a kind of a movement like this. Movement là ń pè nǹkan tó bá ń ṣe ní platform yẹn gbogbo lẹ máa support. The agenda here is for self-determination. They've also other platform, maybe just to look at their news, but they've fed the authentic news. I have told you that Bola Tinubu is another fraudster that put the life of Yoruba people in danger by making it look like, oh, he has put out a regional government. Fakpomuda, Logbe regional government bill, draft, not even a bill, is a draft. Is a draft. And that draft was put on the social media. It was interviewed by different people. That particular draft is not even, as we speak right now, inside the Senate, not even talk about House of Assembly. So Yoruba people are now coming out. Oh, Koiki, Bola Tinubu wants to do regional government. Those are the criminals. My voice is coming out. So be a delay. Video today and delay. So the voice will catch up along the line. So Kosibi Kokon as of today. But what they are doing now is to propose to return back to amalgamation. Anika di amalgamate and Hotunika amalgamate. And if you are still wondering if Nigeria will ever work, listen to Lekan Adegoke, Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
If the Constitution maintains by Section 2 that Nigeria is one indissoluble nation and doesn't provide for means or procedure by which a people or a particular sector of the nation, a federating people, can choose to say at this particular point we want to have a nation of our own, and it doesn't provide for a peaceful means by which this can be guaranteed.
A peaceful means is what we are demanding. A peaceful means is what the Yoruba people want and the rest of those that wants to leave Nigeria. But if you refuse a peaceful means, we must then prepare for crisis. Ọ̀nà méjì ni. Lè sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ kúrò ní Nigeria and you are asking them for peace. Peace is the reason why we dropped the letter. Some are even arguing that why the UK? But what they forgot to know that UK amalgamated Nigeria. You never got any independence from this country. Because the independence was given to the northern part of Nigeria. It was not given to us. So, and today, we are still hoping that there will be a peaceful means to the dissolution of Nigeria. But if there's no peaceful means, then there will be crisis. And crisis will lead to anarchy. Anarchy can lead to war. And war is not sugar cane. Yes, it will be painful. There will be destruction. There will be loss of life. But that means there will be the end of Nigeria. So don't come and tell us, oh, you are bringing war to Nigeria. There is already war in the country called Nigeria, and we can only stop it now before there will be more war that we cannot control. So that is the agenda. So November 7th, Tombo Yi, they are planning to sign a new Yoruba amalgamation to include Nigeria. I'm going to take 2 more calls, and then I have 1 more video to play about Bosuke Kiakia, Bokia Shake TV show.
Hello.
I'm going, sir.
Tí mo ti gbọ́ ní ìsìn látàná mi wà happy mo ti pe admin mi gan ṣe mo ti sọ fún un ẹ̀rí kan tó wà lọ́rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ olúwa yẹn kò sí nǹkan méjì tí wọn bá ti rí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn àwọn ọba yẹn kan fojú rí náà wọn ò lè mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lókùn kí wọn kẹ̀dẹ̀ ní bàbá Tinubu yẹn olúwa díẹ̀ tẹ́ bá rí pé ọjọ́ tí wọ́n ṣe rádìí yẹn tí mo wò láti yẹn ìjọ́ kejì làwọn ti dìbọ́ǹkì ẹ̀ ìgbà tó rí pé àwọn èèyàn pariwo ló tún kó wá kó kúfẹ̀ kan wá jáde fúnra rẹ̀ ló sọ̀rọ̀ kò sí nǹkan tá a lè ṣe àwọn àtàwọn abẹ́rẹ́ bíbá yà àgbàdo ara ń ro wá gidi gan mo fi Ọlọ́run gbọ́ búra àwọn tó bá dùn mí mọ́ nínú gúrùpù wọn ti mọ̀ ń sìn ohun tí mo kàn fẹ́ ni pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lókè yẹn ẹ rí organize àwọn tó máa dàlú yẹn rúlẹ̀ nǹkan náà kí náà sọ àwọn ọba yẹn tí wọ́n bá lè dúró lé ó kálukú wọn máa ṣe kí ni wọ́n tọwọ́ wọn bá sọ ẹnì kan ò lè fi wá sóko parun mo ti fún abẹ́rẹ́ sí over 30 years tó kálukú jìyà ìgbà táti lè block Nigerian side àgbàdo bíbá yìí Nigeria ò ti gbé bíbá owó yìí ò ti rí mọ́ owó náà owó lé owó everything kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sọ́fẹ́ fi wá wọ́n fẹ́ fi wá tún tí wọ́n ṣe ní gbogbo àwọn ọba yẹn pẹ̀lú starting from local government tó bá ti nílé lókè tí mi ò lè wálé àwọn tó máa ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn wá fọ́ wọn tó jẹ́ kó wò nímọ̀ wọn ká ilé ìmọ̀dé bàtàyé wọn jẹ́ ẹni sójà tó bá jáde gọ́sẹ̀ tó bá rí pé tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní nọ́ọ̀tì yẹn ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bíbá òun kálukú àtọwọ́ mẹ́ẹ̀bá sọ kò sí tó lẹ́nu kínní yìí tó bá kù kan lọ dánwò kan láwọn fẹ́ tàwa tó pẹ́ 100 years nígbà tán bá rí náà fúnra àwọn tí Nàìjíríà bá dàrú ṣé bí gbogbo àgbáyé ló ti mọ̀ fọ́tí lọ kígbe bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ kọ́ wa bọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ by force ni kò lè ṣeé ṣe mi ò lọ́rọ̀ sọ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn lọ kí wọ́n dà ẹ ṣe mo dúpẹ́.
àwọn èèyàn ń jìyà bí brother mi ṣe sọ níbẹ̀rẹ̀ republic wọ́n ń jẹ ìyà gidi and that is meant to be the closest to Yoruba land. So if you cannot enjoy Nigeria in Benin Republic, níbo ló ti fẹ́ enjoy Nigeria? Maybe if you manage to get to America and European countries, but you would also go through a lot. The time to Yoruba to wake up is now. This is not the time. Kí ni àpamọ́ sọ pé yẹn kò kàn yín? Ó kan gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀. We must sit on the round table and discuss our existence within Nigeria. If not, nobody will enjoy anything inside that territory. And that is a fact. And this is the reason why we are trying to make sure that this remains a very peaceful means to exit Nigeria. But there's two options. It's either we go through the war or we go through the peace. Eba mute the background. Ẹ tó pé wá láti Ontario. Ẹ mute the people nínú ilé ẹjọ́. Ẹ gbóhùn sókè sir. I'm going. Ìyẹn náà la ṣe tètè kígbà síta báyìí. Ìyẹn la ṣe tètè pariwo síta. Because wọ́n ní ká pariwo síta. Ká pariwo síta. Because àwọn kan ló jókòó 1914 amalgamation ká wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀ báyìí nísìn. Tó dẹ̀ ti expire láti 2014. Ìkan ló tún lọ báyìí nísìn. So tí àkọ́bá ní kò kàn wọn, I am in UK, I am not suffering. Oúnjẹ ni mo ra ń jẹ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Mo dẹ̀ ra mu supermarket lórí. So èyí tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà lóòótọ́ àwa ready láti support yín. So òun lè rí yẹn nísìn British High Commissioner mo sọ fún ilé nǹkan Katrina Lang nígbà tó lọ rí Ọọ̀ni lélẹ̀ kó tó ṣe tán lórí oyè tó ṣe ó ti wà ní Sudan nísìn gbogbo ibi tó ní ìyá ìlọ ló dàrú ìyá tẹ̀ ń rí tó ń wá wájú yìí lórí screen tẹ̀ ń wò mí báyìí she was the ọkùnrin ni mo fi wọ̀nyí lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ lẹ́yìn ọkùnrin yẹn lọ́gbélé wa so mo ń gbádùn yín alàgbà wa ẹ ṣé gan ni thank you so much. a gbọ́dọ̀ prepare for crisis kò sọ fún ẹni tó bá ní kò ní sí crisis rọ́là ń pa àdúrà ń gbà Ọlọ́run máa dàárín wọn rúbọ we must prepare for crisis mo kí ẹ Azeez so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn so iṣẹ́ tèmi ni pé ká prepare àwọn èèyàn wa pé November 7 wọ́n lọ sign amalgamation mi ni kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ẹ ṣé gan ni sir ẹ̀ tó bá dẹ̀ ni pé kò kàn ń gbogbo wa ló máa kàn so now mo ń sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé I'm still taking calls we have another 30 minutes to the end of this program ẹni tó bá láǹfààní àti pé pè wọlé kẹpè kẹ wá bá wa sọ tẹ wà lọ́kàn yín tó bá dẹ̀ ní pé wa ẹgbẹ́ òsókè ẹ bá mi ìtura gbára ẹ ti wọlé sà ẹ káàbọ̀ ẹ káàbọ̀ mà àmì mà yes ma.
àgbà ẹ̀mí tí mò ń pè é yìí ọmọ mi ó ti tú mi orí gbogbo wàhálà làálà ẹ àti ti bàbá gbogbo yín pátápátá àdúrà ni mò ń gbà àgbàlagbà ni mí ó ti tú mi kò sí nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ ju pé ṣe rí Ọbásanjọ́ yẹn.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mà.
Sátánì ni Sátánì ti Tinubu ojú ti Ọbásanjọ́ lọ.
kábíyèsí ẹ.
Tinubu yẹn alágbárí ni ṣẹgbọ́n mi ń sìn.
àgbọ́yé.
alágbárí kò fẹ́ ká lọ. ní nǹkan tí ó wà ń bẹ̀ tí mo fẹ́ sọ sí ni pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe kinní yẹn fún wọn lẹ́yọ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan ní state kọ̀ọ̀kan ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe kinní yẹn fún wọn tá a bá ṣe fún wọn wọn ò mọ̀ ní jẹ́ ká lọ o ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe kinní yẹn fún wọn ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kí gbogbo àgbáyé tó bá ń gbọ́ mi sì wọ́n máa gbọ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe kinní yẹn fún wọn nǹkan tó ń ṣe fún ọmọborí owó ní 1981 I was in Akure that time nǹkan tó ń ṣe fún wọn ní time yẹn ṣẹ́gbọ́n mi sì ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe fún wọn tá a bá ṣe fún wọn wọn ò ní jẹ́ á lọ o bó ṣe rí nìyẹn Ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run á dúró tì ẹ́.
mọ́mí wa ti fún wa ní slogan àwọn girama ẹ̀rí pé àwọn ìyá ìlágbárí wọ́n ní ká máa ṣe kinní yẹn fún wọn ẹ̀yin tá a máa sọ nìyẹn kò síjà àníjà Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká jà but a máa ṣe kinní yẹn fún yín a máa ṣe kinní yẹn fún yín ní ti girama sọ nìyẹn so kí yàn kankan máa wá síbà pé náà fẹ́ jà àjà but a máa ṣe kinní yẹn fún yín ẹgbọ́n sókè.
ẹ̀fẹ̀ gbọ́ mi mo tún rántí kankan sí ṣé màá tún sọ ara ìdí kan ṣé mọ̀ pé Elégùṣì ìyàwó kejì tó fẹ́ ṣe mọ̀ pé ọmọ Fúlàní.
gbogbo wọn ló ń fẹ́ Fúlàní gbogbo yẹn ló mọ̀ yẹn.
ọmọ Fúlàní ni ìyàwó kejì tó fẹ́ and mo sì ń wọ́ndà pé báyìí tí Yorùbá ṣe bí mẹ́ẹ̀fẹ́ lórí òun wa ọ àfihàn ni ló yẹ kó ń gbé mítìn yẹn lọ kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lè pè síbẹ̀ báyìí jẹ́ fi tó fi gbé mítìn lọ sí gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ Elégùṣì tó jẹ́ pé Fúlàní ni ìyàwó ẹ̀ ṣé irú àwọn Yorùbá yìí máa fẹ́ ká kúrò Nàìjíríà. bàbá mi mò ń sọ fún yín pé ṣe rí lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí kò sí ọmọlúwàbí kankan mọ́ kò sọ̀rọ̀ tábàtì fọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ lójú láti gbà ọ̀tá fẹ́ gbà àtúntẹ̀rẹ̀ ọmọlúwàbí papọ̀dà pọ̀ láwọn bàbá yìí bí ìfẹ́ mo fẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe tó ń lẹ̀ Yorùbá.
kinní yẹn la máa ṣe fún wọn ẹjá máa wọ́n ti ní kinní yẹn ni ká ṣe fún wọn ẹ má fi gbẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ kinní yẹn la máa ṣe fún wọn tẹ́lẹ̀ fẹ́ gbọ́ ni àwọn náà nígbà kinní yẹn la máa ṣe fún yín tẹ́lẹ̀ ní kúnkúṣì lórí ni tẹ́lẹ̀ sọ pé ní kúnkúṣì lórí ẹ rò pé ní kúnkúṣì lórí.
wọ́n fi wá ṣeré báwo Fúlàní yóò bá lè bi àwọn àgbààgbà wọn tó bá lè question láìsí wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn tó lè question right wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn tí Yíbò lè question tiwọn àwa Yorùbá ni wá a máa question leaders wa pé kíni yóò right àfẹ́ àdẹ̀fẹ́ náà nìyẹn kò ní dá fọ́bá sọjọ́ ìlú tó bá wà wá bó ṣe wà yẹn tó bá rò kọ́ tó Ọlọ́run wípé òun fẹ́ dá ọ̀dọ̀ Yorùbá dúró. Ìkọ́ tó jẹ́ tó máa ṣe mítì yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kó rí kọ́ tó máa ṣe mítì yẹn.
ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ti gbà dúró báyìí nísìn èmi náà mo ti dúró báyìí nísìn ó ti gbà dúró lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀.
wọ́n bá ti lè gbogbo àgbà Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan.
ó ti gbà dúró báyìí.
wọ́n bá ti lè sọ pé àwọn pílánì pẹ̀lú mítì yẹn àwọn fẹ́ lọ tún ìwà mọ́ Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run ọba òkú.
ànígbà kò gbọ́ kó gbà ní ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lẹ̀.
kò ṣe fún ọkọ tó dijọ́ yẹn.
Aṣẹ́dùmarè.
ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ní máìndì báwọn fẹ́ lọ yọ wá kúrò ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni jẹ́ kí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní gbígbà kó ṣojú ẹ̀mí wọn.
àmín. ẹ ṣé gan ni thank you so much. mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti gbà dúró báyìí ká fi ìdúró ká fi parí ìtókù nínú ìwọ̀nba díẹ̀ tí a ṣì ní àsìkò mo kí gbogbo wa pé ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí kò ń ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ Koikimedia ṣe rí mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo wa wo máàpù yìí ó kù sí wa lọ́wọ́ ṣẹ́yìn náà fẹ́ wà inú máàpù yìí kí ìran wa náà kájọ wà nínú ẹ̀ jẹ́ n gbé kọ́ọ̀ tó ń bọ̀ yìí tá a bá fẹ́ kí ìran wa kó wà nínú máàpù yìí a gbọ́dọ̀ dìde àsìkò láti dìde la wà yìí eléyìí ò ń ṣèjà Koiki kò ń ṣèjà Gbowó ìjà gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ni ebi ń pẹ́ ni ìyà ń jẹ ni ọ̀nà kan tí a máa fi lọ òun ni pé kí gbogbo wa ká support independent Yorùbá country ẹgbẹ́ òsókè alàgbà wa.
Hello, Mr. Koiki ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
àwa ni ẹ sàn.
ẹ kú àtótó nu.
àwa ni ẹ.
àmọ̀ràn tèmi ń sìn wípé àwa táwa ń diaspora because èmi ń sọ̀rọ̀ láti US Indiana mo wà. ẹ jẹ́ kí a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń dá owó gidi a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń dá owó ọ̀pá.
ká lè ṣe kinní yẹn fún wọn.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni at least tá a bá rí 200 people láti ẹ̀dá $1,000 owó ni.
Ọ̀sán gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe kinní yẹn fún wọn.
ẹ ṣe pípẹ́ kí áàdì mi ẹ pè mí.
àsìkò tó because wọ́n ti fẹ́ kógun wọlé Yorùbá báyìí Britain náà ò ní gbà pé kí Yorùbá dá dúró Amẹ́ríkà kọ́ ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí Britain ló ń sọ pé òun ò ní gbà lọ sí kó gbogbo àwọn ọba wa together.
à ń bọ́ sórí TikTok à ń bọ́ sórí Facebook à ń pariwo WhatsApp owó la nídìí nsìn láti ra irinṣẹ́.
ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ ṣé thank you so much. wọ́n ní a fẹ́ ṣe kinní yẹn fún wọn no be joke anymore. mo dúpẹ́ fún kámẹ́rà tá à ń lò yẹn mo lè tilt wá sókè tó ti bá fi pé mo fẹ́ dìde nígbà míì a máa láǹfààní àti dìde a sì ní bíi half an hour ká fi parí ètò yìí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ fẹ́ pè wọlé ẹ ṣe láǹfààní àti pè wọlé tó bá ti ń débi 10 minutes tó à lè gbé ìpè kankan mọ́. Mo kí bàbá wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho Òòṣà. A ní a máa dúró tiẹ̀ lọ́rùn. Ìwọ nìkan kọ́ ló máa rìn àjò yìí, àjọ máa rìn ni. Ẹgbọ́n sókè ìyá wa tó ń pè.
Koiki.
Ẹ ti wọlé màá. Màá.
Á dára fún ẹ.
Àṣẹ Èdùmàrè.
Ẹ máa ṣàṣeyọrí.
Àṣẹ o.
Àti bàbá wa gbogbo ilẹ̀ máa ṣàṣeyọrí.
Àmín Jésù.
Ẹ rí àwọn bàbá Ọbásanjọ́. Wọ́n ń ṣe àgbàlagbà tó ń pinnu. Wọ́n ń ṣe àgbàlagbà tó láàmú. Ṣé bàbá wa kékeré bí ní gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ bá ṣe ní orí sùn lójú wọn?
Àwọn kí báwọn ọmọ wọn gbádùn.
Nígbà tí àwọn bá di pẹ́sidẹ́ǹtì kí ni wọ́n ṣe fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá? Wọ́n ní àwọn tún ṣe ni àwọn kò wọ́n ro àti ọmọ gbogbo Yorùbá kan yẹn tẹ̀ pé tán tí ìyẹn jáde pé bàbá Ọbásanjọ́ ló ṣe fóun. Wọ́n ì táwọn àgbàlagbà wa àwọn olóṣèlú wa ṣe jẹ́ ká. Then Bọ́lá àwọn Tinubu wọ́n lè tà wá fún àwọn Fúlàní. Òun nìkan kọ́ ló ní Yorùbá. Àjọ Yorùbá ni.
Ẹ bá a sọ fún wọn.
Kò lè wá máa tó máa fọwọ́ sí àpò. Ó máa ní ká máa tẹ̀lé òun. Tó bá ṣe tó dà pọ̀. Èyí tó fẹ́ ṣe ń sin àpọ̀.
Kò dáa rárá, ilé ìtọ́ fẹ́ ṣe yóò dáa.
Then ẹ̀rọ bá ní sọ fún àwọn ọba tó bá jẹ́ pé àtọ̀ ọmọ àlè ni wọ́n fi bí ó lọ sáyà amalgamation kí ni wọ́n pè. Ajẹ́pọ̀ ọmọ àlè ló fi kì í ṣe bàbá ẹ̀ ló bí. Torí bàbá rẹ̀ rán bàbá rẹ̀ kò ṣe nǹkan kò fi wọ́n sí ajẹ́ Yorùbá. Wọ́n kọ́ ká ojúbọ àpérè. Wọ́n bá yẹ pé ọba kan wá wà ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Bàbá lọ́ba tí wọ́n bá kọ́ ọba 100 jọ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Bóyá 20 tó kù nílọ. Àwọn ìfẹ́ àti mẹ́rin àti ẹ̀ka àti ẹ̀kàwé lọ sí àbáṣádà bàbá owó lọ́wọ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣé bá ní bí àwọn ọba wa? Ṣé bí bàbá wọn èyí tó bá ti sáyìn ṣé bí bàbá wọn ṣe ṣe nìyẹn? Wọ́n bí àwọn olówó ṣe ṣe nìyẹn. Ẹ bá bàbá àwọn olóṣèlú ní àwọn olówó ṣe ṣe nìyẹn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀kọ́ ló.
Ẹ fi tó tó.
Kò tó.
Kẹ́ni ètò ìdìbò ni Sunday Adéyẹmí ṣe fún wọn tí wọ́n fi ní kí wọ́n fi blọ́ọ̀kì owó rẹ̀.
Àjẹ́dá àwọn Fúlàní nìyẹn wọ́n ló rówó náà ló ṣe é ṣe Yorùbá nation. Wọ́n ní gbòòrò rówó náà ni àwọn máa lò.
Wọ́n máa gbé ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ àti ìsìn ó ti yí padà. Ayé ìgbà tó dúdú ó ti kúrò. Ọmọ àná ó lè gbé wọn sọnù ó lè gbé wọn sọnù nígbà ó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ètò. Wọ́n tún sọ orí wọ́n tún bọ́ ìdí. Wọ́n ní kí ọba gbogbo ọba kó lọ sọ́dọ̀ Elégùṣì kó lọ ṣe mítìnì. Àrísùn ńlá. Bàbá mi ti gbé bílíọ̀nù ti gbé báyìí ó dá owó wọn padà. Wọ́n àgbà náà ìyá ti tó.
Ìyá ẹ ti tó, ìyá ẹ ti pọ̀ jù pọ̀ jù. Ìyá ẹ ti pọ̀ jù. Iṣẹ́ kẹ́ ọmọ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Ọmọ wọn nìkan ló ń jáde.
Olówó nìkan. Àwọn olówó nìkan ló ń gbádùn. Ẹ̀bárọ̀.
Kí wọ́n kún gbogbo àkáǹtì Sunday Igboho kí wọ́n kún ẹ̀ kí wọ́n ṣe fún wọn.
Nǹkan kan o.
Ẹni tó gbé bílíọ̀ gómìnà tó gbé 2 bílíọ̀ kí wọ́n rí sọ́kùn
àwọn olóko.
Kí ni wọ́n ṣe fún afọ́tù ní Chinese tó disrespect Nàìjíríà kí ni wọ́n ṣe fún?
Nígbà kan ṣe sí criminal ni wọ́n.
Ṣé ọba Rúdà dúpẹ́ ní? Àbí wọ́n gbogbo ọmọ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ṣe jẹ́ pé Yorùbá orí ìwé òpè náà ọgbọ́n tẹ́ńtà wà láàmú náà ọgbọ́n ṣe pa wá kú mọ́. Ẹ wo àwọn àgbàlagbà tó wà níbẹ̀ tí àtọ́lọ́ṣèlú àti àgbàlagbà ẹ lọ ṣọ́ra yín. Àgbàlagbà lè nílò bọ́tẹ́ lọ́pọ́lá ní ìkànnì yìí.
Kìíní yẹn la máa ṣe fún wọn. Kìíní yẹn la máa ṣe fún wọn. Ìtọ́sọ yẹn.
Nàìjíríà wọ́n ti bí àwọn olóṣèlú ń ta property federal.
They are bomb bastard.
Wọ́n ń ta oko state wọ́n ń takura wọn kò ní dáa fún yín.
Aṣẹ́dùmarè. Bó ṣe rí nìyẹn. Ọba tó bá ti sáìn wọ́n ní ẹrógo èmi kọ́ mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ kàmá ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní ọba tó bá ti sáìn ẹ ti rógo ẹrógo sẹ̀lẹ̀ torí pà nígbà enough is enough. Hold on má kànjọ́ ọ̀la hold on kò tó wọlé hold on jẹ́ kí màmá sọ̀rọ̀ kọ̀ màmá sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ ṣé gan ni grandma thank you so much for the contribution. Kíní yẹn la máa ṣe fún yín ẹ ṣé gan ni màtúrà àsìkò ni ó yá gbóhùn sókè má kànjọ́ ọ̀la Àdìgún ló sọ̀rọ̀ á pàdé ní 2021 ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà ni ó yá gbóhùn sókè ní kíákíá máa fún ẹ ní few minutes kò bí wàá sọ̀rọ̀.
Mo fẹ́ gbogbo Yorùbá lágbàáyé ẹ fura ẹ lè ṣọ́ra.
Okay.
Meeting tó fẹ́ lọ ṣe lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ on the 7th of November tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ṣọ́ra.
Okay.
Mo lè fẹ́ bẹ̀ gbogbo Yorùbá pé kọ́ kéèsì wípé it was a agenda and negative agenda. That is my big petition táwọn onídàá bá sọ with to Prime Minister Britain.
Okay.
That was the primary purpose of why they are converging.
Okay.
Wọ́n ti rí wípé how did they succeeded in penetrating down state.
Okay.
And the petition was accepted and documented in the office of the Prime Minister of Britain.
Okay.
So the report they brought from the Foreign Affairs Ministry was a doctored report, trying to coerce the British High Commissioner who the British people rejected that petition.
Rejected. Irony. Kò síbi kankan tó ti rejected.
They are now looking for an avenue to create skepticism in the mind of our people. Skepticism by organizing a counter meeting gathering of enemies of Yoruba freedom who are benefiting currently from one Nigeria.
Ẹ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ni o, àwọn eléyìí ń sọ̀rọ̀ kọ́ máa ní nǹkan tó ń sọ o, fáàtì ló ń sọ o. Fáàtì ni o.
Mo ti pa ẹ̀rọ kéènì, mo ti pè é Koiki láwọn ọ̀gá láti fọ́ mi, mo ti bá àbọ̀dá, mo ti bá kọ́mi bàbá yìí, ògùn mi ló sọ the same thing. Mo ti pè Túndé dàda ní kàtà, àṣà kọ́ni fún àṣà tẹ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀, kó gbá gbogbo.
Gbogbo wa gbọ́dọ̀ pariwo síta. Wọ́n fẹ́ sign amalgamation ní November 7 wọ́n fẹ́ sign wa padà sínú Britain. Mo ń gbọ́ Abákanjọ́ ọlá.
Wọ́n fẹ́ sign wa padà. And now, ó béèrè, mo ṣe báyìí nìkan sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sìn ní former assistant general secretary Laro Mutu àtẹ́lẹ̀. Dr. Kẹ́hìndé Akínwálé. Ó béèrè lọ́wọ́ pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe meeting nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n ṣe nífẹ̀ẹ́. Pálásì Oní Òfìfẹ́. Wọ́n ṣe ní pálásì Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́. Wọ́n ṣe ní pálásì Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́. Wọ́n ṣe ní Akẹ́. Wọ́n máa ń gbọ́ wá sẹ́kù. Except person tẹ́fẹ́ lọ ṣe meeting ní ọ́fíìsì ní pálásì Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí. I'm elected anything Yorùbá. Ó ti dẹ́kun kì í ṣe part of Yorùbá. Now, that was submit the petition. Why is Lagos they have said it's not part of Lagos, it's not the venue? The advantage of the man who has said it's not part of Yoruba struggle. To a boy tí mo stop pé meeting yẹn ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá World Congress kìíní kan tí Mama Naira interview some few days ago. As being a person, I Adekunle Akojola brought into this struggle.
Ó ti gbowó ni, wọ́n ti gbowó ni, wọ́n ti fọ́n owó síta rẹpẹtẹ, Tinubu ti kówó síta, wọ́n ti pín mọ́tò, wọ́n ti pín màálù gan.
Iṣẹ́ tó máa ń ṣe ni wípé wọ́n máa lo popular struggle of the people láti kọ́nà rẹ̀ tó bá ti pé Yorùbá ti mú towards direction. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa affect the godfather who which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Wọ́n àti lọ pé lo platform ẹ̀ fi pé gbogbo àwọn olè tó bí ẹgbẹ́. I be under the banner of the traditional institutions tó kó only connection fún àwọn ọ̀nì.
Ọmọ Yorùbá dìde, ká dìde àti wà ní danger, àti wà nú ewu lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Ilé ò ń sọ̀rọ̀ àti wà nú big problem tá wà ká ti ń bá bọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, ilé ta fẹ́ kó sínú ẹ̀ nísìnyí, ó máa le ju èyí tó ń bọ̀ lọ.
Nígbà wọ́n ṣe bí ẹwú lọ fọ́ mọ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Kọ́ lè jẹ́ kó yé wọn wípé wọ́n ṣe bí ẹwú lọ fọ́ mọ́. Kọ́ lè jẹ́ kó yé wọn wípé ẹ máa gbọ́ Koiki káwọn èèyàn máa gbọ́.
Wọ́n gbọ́.
Indigenous nation ni wá.
Bá a ṣàlàyé fún wọn tó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Yorùbá indigenous Yorùbá nation ni wá.
Bá a ṣàlàyé fún wọn torí àwọn kan mọ̀ tó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Lọ́ọ̀ tó fún wa tá à ń lò gẹ́gẹ́ pé tó bá jọ ọmọ Yorùbá ni wá láti dé indigenous nation kò sí kan tó jẹ́ gómìnà kò ní kò jẹ́ senator it is people themselves that determine their own destiny led by their leaders who are the foremost in the forefront of this struggle. So another is part of this but it's not the absolute. Ẹni kan ló pa nínú process yìí. Under the concept of self-determination under indigenous status gbogbo ìgbà yìí kọ ìpín ọba. So Another cannot sit somewhere and say he's taking a decision for over 19 million Yorùbá all over the world.
Bá a ṣàlàyé fún wọn tó ń pè ní self-determination kò lé mi dáadáa bá a ṣàlàyé Àdìgún.
And that is why most times tó bá di pé ó dìjà wọ́n fẹ́ yanjú ẹ̀ wọ́n ní kọ́ lọ ṣe referendum. Ṣé ọba nìkan ló ń vote referendum or anybody voted on the equal basis?
A ṣàlàyé fún wọn, a ṣàlàyé torí kò yẹ pọ̀lọpọ̀.
We need to understand this fundamental factor. We must not allow them to take a decision on our behalf. If we want something to worse, let the British government call the United Nations to convene a referendum for us. Káwọn ọmọ ayẹyẹ tó bá pọ̀ jù wá lọ, tó bá jọ vote. Carry anything sure about to supersede that or the other. We are using this avenue now to call Baba Adébáyọ̀ Akíntóyè to report the federal government to report the federal government to the United Nations to the British government that the right to self-determination
has the input of Britain in the charter to establish it. And we have not taken up arms, we are agitating on a peaceful process. Power and coup and lọ-sílé-ìwé àwọn èèyàn kọ́ṣẹ́ síbẹ̀ kò síṣẹ́
security.
All kinds of draconian economic policies are there to drive the majority of the they agree. Owó ìpòsí wà lórí. Àyẹ̀bí òkè since they pé agenda wọ́n pa àgàtà IMF ló kàn lórí ilẹ̀ tiwa o pẹ̀lú resources tiwa o. Èmi ká bá iṣẹ́ wa dé tó kù ní pé ká lọ fẹjọ́ àwọn tó jílẹ̀ tiwa lọ sọ àwọn tó kó wa papọ̀. Àwọn táwọn papọ̀ wa lórí wọ́n tó kó wa papọ̀. Kí ni máa fa ìbílẹ̀ pé kí ni ẹ̀tọ́ kí not? Àwọn ọ̀ṣẹ́ sáwọn ọba Yorùbá pé wọ́n á dùbà sóde ìgbòho fáwọn within 24 hours.
Understand wọn.
What are that country?
Bá ń ṣàlàyé fún ọmọ ìkó ọgbọ́n ìbò dáadáa bá ń ṣàlàyé fún wọn.
Àwọn tó wà lórí Facebook tí wọ́n sọ pa Yorùbá dis Yorùbá that majority of them are planted on Facebook to use our struggle to promote the political agenda of their forefathers, not for Yoruba self-determination struggle.
Bá ń ṣàlàyé fún wọn, bá ń ṣàlàyé.
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ mọ̀ wọ́n dáadáa. Gbogbo tó láti ní kọ́mẹ̀tì Yorùbá, àwọn kan wà, wọ́n fi ìyàtọ̀ jẹ́ wà nínú Nàìjíríà, wọ́n lọ fi negotiate pẹ̀lú àwọn olóṣèlú.
Ìyẹn náà ìbí yẹn lọ ti ń ṣe bọ̀ láti 30 years wọn náà ń ṣe Yorùbá nation. Wọ́n ṣe Yorùbá nation yẹn kàn gbọ́ wọn. Ẹ ṣe Yorùbá nation yẹn kàn gbọ́ yín.
Mo máa bèrè lọ́wọ́ Kóìkì, ó jọ nítorí Elédùmarè. Bèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn leaders kan tó ti ṣe struggle yìí wípé níbo lọ́ dúró sí. Ẹjọ́ Ìdákẹ́ọlá, Reverend Adéṣọ̀kan, Kúlẹ̀ Adéṣọ̀kan, kẹ́ bá mi bèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí, níbo lọ́ dúró sí. Tó tọ́ táwọn ọba àtàwọn ẹgbẹ́ kan láti kó àwọn ọjọ́ pẹ̀lú láwọn fẹ́ gbé ọba sí mítìn ní pálásì Akété nílùú Èkó. Gbogbo fẹ́ take decision. Láti counter nǹkan tí gbogbo Yorùbá ní kójọ tàbí ṣe láti ọdún yìí tó pé ó ti wá wọnú ibi tí ọjọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ti decided. Ká notify àwọn wíkẹ̀ láti notify pé àwa ń lọ táwọn kò wọ́n fẹ́ kó àwọn ọjọ́ láti counter ẹ̀. Ṣé bàbá làwọn pípọ̀ ìlú àwọn agé fún ètò ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni? Ṣé àwọn olùkọ́ òṣèlú ṣe bí wọn lè ló lọ sáì pé kó wà lẹ́wọ̀n Nàìjíríà ni? Àbí kí ni àbí ṣé wọ́n máa ń fún ọ̀rẹ́ kíkó pàtó yá ni? Let's be realistic. Ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́kọ̀ òwe máa wà ní ẹjọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àgbọ̀dọ̀ gbà. Koiki you must people Koiki must support to support Koikimedia ẹjọ́ ẹ máa sọ pé ó máa organize consistently. Ó ká pé gbogbo wọn Yorùbá pé kíní yìí wọ́n fẹ́ sọ wá sínú kòtò ní o. Àgbọ̀dọ̀ gbà. Àdẹ̀ní gbà.
Àtẹ̀ní láti pè emergency meeting gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo àgbáyé báyìí. Emergency meeting gbọ́dọ̀ wáyé ní kíákíá tó ní pẹ́. Oṣegan ni Àdìgún àtúgbẹ wá lọ́la bí ọ̀túnla àtújọ wá sọ̀rọ̀. Thank you so much my brother. Mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ gan. Thank you. Rásìkò àwọn èèyàn ti pè àwọn èèyàn ti bínú nírọ̀lẹ́ yìí. Ìgbòho ti dàrú rẹpẹtẹ. Wọ́n ti pé amalgamate wa. Òun lẹ́rìn olóyè Ìgbòho níwájú self determination. Olóyè sọ pé àfẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́. Bàbá Títò iná òun fẹ́. Ẹ̀yìn ọmọ Yorùbá náà sọ pé ẹ̀fẹ́ ni àfẹ́ olóyè nìkan ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ sáré bá gbọ́n sókè alàgbà tó pè. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sà.
Ọ̀rọ̀ àṣà ọjọ́ dọ́mẹ́ta
ọjọ́ kan pẹ̀lú.
Tí mo gbọ́ lé ni ó yà mí lẹ́nu o. Bẹ̀tẹ̀ mi náà ti mọ̀ pé ibi tó máa fẹ́ resort sí náà ni ìgbà tó ti sọ mí di tó ti gbé pépà yẹn wọlé mo ti mọ̀ pé wọ́n máa fẹ́ gbé àwọn nonsense agenda jáde.
Ó tẹ̀ ti jáde báyìí. Ó ti jáde báyìí. A ti wà ní problem.
Mi lè parọ́ tàn yín. Gbogbo kíní ló yẹ ká ti ṣe for long time. Gbogbo àbá ti ní ìyọjú báyìí.
A máa ṣe kíní yẹn fún wọn. Ẹ máa ká pé lọ́dún sọ̀rọ̀. Kíní yẹn la máa ṣe fún wọn.
Ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe é sí ẹ má tẹ̀ jẹ́ kó dùn ní sẹ́kùn. Ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ sí i. Gbogbo ẹ tètè máa lọ. Kíní tó fẹ́ ṣe fún ẹ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe fún wọn sí.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí kọ́lá ìṣe tán.
Ẹ bá ti ṣe mẹ́ta mẹ́rin sí ojú wọn máa wálẹ̀ sá. Gẹ́gẹ́ tí mo sọ yẹn, ẹ bá ti ṣe bí mẹ́ta mẹ́rin márùn mẹ́fà sí i. Wàhálà wọn máa sún nǹkan ṣẹ́mọ̀. Because àwọn èèyàn ń jẹ ìyá ń ta ibi
tó ń ṣe kékeré.
Everybody, a lot of people want to go back home.
Ilé kẹ̀, ilé ò ṣe lọ. Ilé kẹ̀, ilé ò ṣe lọ sẹ́. Ilé ò lẹ́ lọ. Ilé ò ṣe lọ. We are all àti wà trap. Gbogbo àti wà trap.
A lot of people, I can't complain. I can't tell you lie. A lot of people are sending message every day. Hey, I need help. So, tí mo ní tẹ́tẹ́ bros ẹ ti mọ tí mo ń try àti sọ.
Kíní yẹn ẹ má fi gbẹnu sọ̀rọ̀. Kíní yẹn wọ́n ti ní kíní yẹn la máa ṣe fún wọn. Gbogbo wa náà la máa ṣe kò ṣe èèyàn kan. Torí tẹ́ bá rán yàn iṣẹ́ tẹ́yìn náà ní ẹ̀fẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣe gbogbo wa náà lájọ máa ṣe ni. kò sí tá a máa sọ lórí social media kí ni ẹ̀ la máa padà sí fún wọn ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ẹ bá gbóhùn sókè Pastor Agboola, the secretary of the Yoruba Nation Christian Association. A ti wà láago 6 ó kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 10 ṣe rí i pé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti gbà dúró mo ti dúró báyìí torí olóyè náà dúró ní nígbà tó fẹ́ lọ deliver letter kò ń ṣe pé ó jókòó kódà òjò rọ̀ níjọ́ yẹn tó ṣòpá pẹ̀rẹ̀ tó dání. Pastor Agboola ẹ bá gbóhùn sókè àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ yín ẹ bá wa share program yìí wọ́n náà wọ́n bá fẹ́ lọ sign amalgamation àwọn èèyàn share tó bá yẹ pà ń sọ̀rọ̀ kó àtòbò ní sí ìlú báyìí máa ti dàrú ọ̀rọ̀ kó ọ̀tọ̀bò kan lélẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń dùn wá lọ́kàn 15 years ní Britain fi pé mi ní ìwé pé kí n lọ fi ṣiṣẹ́ ìjọ òun lẹ́nu mi tún máa dé tó máa gba èmi lè dé ní éèjì tó dání torí mo ti pé 25 nígbà tí mo wọ̀ lóyìí ẹni tó pé 40 tó wọ̀ lóyìí tó wá dúró 15 years dáhùn kí wàá ti pé 55 àbí kó tó gbàwé ẹlòmíì lọ́kì ó gbà lóòótọ́ ní kíákíá òkò ṣe gbogbo èèyàn lọ́mọ wá fún ní visa láti wọ̀ lóyìí gbogbo àwọn tá apply fún pé kọ́ wá bá wa ṣayẹyẹ wọ́n decline wọn náà fún wọn ní visa bomb blaster ẹgbọ́n sókè.
ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa the great white lion ojú òní tì yín èké lójú máa tì odò àgbèwà kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀ ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun the great journalist of Yoruba land of Yoruba nation and beyond Koikimedia bringing the world closer to our destiny ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun ẹ ṣé mo ní pé kí n kí
ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby mo rí ẹ ń bẹ̀.
information disseminated fún wa. And as I'm saying this, I want to beg all of us, all the Yoruba world, I believe everybody is hearing us now. This program needs to be shared to all every places, please. Regardless of every media, Tonika Luku Wadimu, Ejo, about share it away. That is that. Number 2, Lágbára Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè, Lágbára Onílẹ̀. Ìmọ̀jọ ìmọ̀tún wọn, it shall not stand, it shall not come to pass.
Amen.
Mítì tán fẹ́ ṣe lágbára Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè á dàrú. Number 2 ni wípé bá a ṣe ń gbàdúrà yìí, inú mi dẹ́dùn náà ti mention bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. There is going to be a máa organize the program kan náà ní bí awareness, physical, gbogbo meeting tó bá yẹ ká ṣe gbogbo àpapọ̀, oníkálukú á just we put our differences aside and we face this thing squarely. So láti jẹ́ kó dimọ̀ fún wọn pé a ti gbọ́ nǹkan tán fẹ́ wá ṣe it will not stand this time. A máa ṣe meeting yẹn a dẹ̀ máa fi sójú ṣe ibi tá a bá fẹ́ gádà sí kájọ fìmọ̀ṣọ̀ kan kí mídíà pè.
Gbogbo wa ní gbogbo àgbáyé a gbọ́dọ̀ recall a quick meeting ní kíákíá gbogbo platform ẹ má ju nonsense sínú ẹ̀ ìbéèrè tẹ́ máa béèrè ni pé ọba wo ló fẹ́ lọ sign amalgamation intelligent tó dọ́dọ̀ mi nìyẹn o wọ́n lè parọ́ fún yín pé kọ́ má dá Koiki lóhùn ẹ sọ fún wọn pé ìpàdé 3 ló máa ṣe èyí tó máa fi wọ̀n wá ó yàtọ̀ sí 2 tó máa ṣe lẹ́yìn ẹgbọ́n sókè.
Ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa so ẹ jọ gbogbo àwa mídíà wa ta ká fi ṣiṣẹ́ ṣe bí bàbá wa ṣe ń ṣe yìí tó ń ṣe yìí kí gbogbo àká fi sójú ṣe that must be our program now throughout even before títí da ìgbà tí à ń wò lọ́ọ̀kan déètì tán fi sí yẹn information yẹn ti tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́ lọ́dọ̀ wa láti ìjẹta tàdé tí ń sọ fún àti ń prepare ara wa pé a máa organize a day of prayer concerning it àwọn ọdẹ ń fi àǹfààní sọ fún gbogbo pastor tó ń jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ rí i pé bàbá wa kan ṣe ń ṣètò yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan wọ́n play rẹ́kọ̀dù pastor 2.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Wọ́n lè ti rí wọn bàbá wa tẹ́ kọ́kọ́ play.
Wọ́n wà láàrin wa mọ́mọ́ wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú wa mọ́mọ́ wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú wa gidi ni gidigidi
bàbá wa yọ̀ǹkà ìbò nìyẹn
wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú wa mọ́mọ́.
So now ẹ ti gbọ́ so gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá tẹ́ jẹ́ olùṣọ́ àgùntàn ní wòlíì ní gbogbo ẹmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ yín iṣẹ́ tá a fẹ́ ṣe rèé o the Yoruba land must stand that is what is in the mind of God nǹkan tó wà tó jẹ́ Ọlọ́run lógún gangan is the Yoruba land Yoruba nation will stand ìdí náà nìyẹn tó ṣe gbé gúrùpù táwa náà wà kalẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ni mo sọ fún àwọn èèyàn wa náà it's not that pé bóyá àwọn kan jókòó síbi kan wọ́n fọ́ọ̀mù yọ̀ǹkà no. It was written in the sky lójú ọ̀run láti ọ̀run wá ni. So it is God movement. So ìdí tọ́tọ̀ ń ṣe gbé wa kalẹ̀ ní afẹ́fẹ́ gbogbo olùṣọ́ àgùntàn please put your this thing aside and let us face it. Níbi tí gbogbo wa wà ká máa gba àdúrà yẹn ká máa ṣiṣẹ́ wòlíì yẹn ká máa ṣiṣẹ́ àdúrà yẹn
Ọlọ́run kò gbalẹ̀ tó bá ti ní any pastor that is preaching anything against it recently I post that the only prayer náà tá a nílò ni
pray for Yoruba land and the dissolution of Nigeria. That's all. Any other prayer tó bá ń pray nílẹ̀ Yorùbá pé kó pray fún Nàìjíríà irọ́ ló ń pa ní church yẹn.
Pastor yẹn gan sìn kò sígbà tá à ní fojú sáà pastor náà lára.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Bí nǹkan tí àwọn màmá wa ń sọ yẹn máa ṣẹlẹ̀.
Kíní yẹn la máa ṣe fún gbogbo yín. Kíní yẹn ni. Torí ṣẹ́ni ẹni ṣúkúrú lórí. Tẹ bá ní ṣúkúrú lórí, àwọn agbọ́n sọ pé bá ní ṣúkúrú lórí torí pé òtútù ti wọnú ara wa, a lè gbọ́dọ̀ wá fi ṣúkúrú wọ̀nyí. Ẹni tó wà ní òde máa jìyà, káwa máa gbádùn ní bíbà, ká máa tẹ́ sí lójú kò possible. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. No more amalgamation of Yoruba land by any ọba nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. A máa fi kinní yẹn, a máa fi wọ̀nyí ni. Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa. Thank you so much. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin yan wa. A ṣì níbi kọ́ọ̀lù bí méjì tí a fẹ́ gbà wọlé, ẹni tó ti pè tẹ́lẹ̀ má tún pè. Ẹ jẹ́ káwọn tó ti pè wọlé torí a fẹ́ gbé ètò ìwálẹ̀ 3 hours náà la máa ń ṣe. Kinní yẹn la máa padà end up sí torí enough is enough. Hello. Ẹyẹ ẹgbọ́n sókè akéde, ẹgbọ́n sókè ní kíákíá.
Ṣé rí tí a bá ti lo òṣìṣẹ́ fọmọdé alájọbí onímọ̀ láti tó. Kíní yẹn tán la máa ṣe fún ẹ ká kọ́ ṣe fáwọn ọmọ ìyá wa. Káwọn alájọbí tó wà ń tà nǹkan tó bá gbà good measurement app good place ní ilé ìgbà tó wà ní wọ́n bá wọ̀ fáwọn ọmọ ẹ̀kọ́ pẹ̀lú information yìí. Láti wọlé how what that time.
Okay. Ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́ni tó sọ̀rọ̀ yín sọ̀rọ̀ tá a làgbà ẹ má ti sọ̀rọ̀ à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ hold on síbẹ̀ ẹ má ti sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ hold on. Ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́ni tó sọ̀rọ̀ yín sọ̀rọ̀ kankan tó gbóhùn sókè sà ẹ hold on. Mo ń gbádùn akéde. Bàbá wa Professor Emeritus Akintoye wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ wà bold enough. Bàbá wa Ìgbòho gbọ́dọ̀ wà bold. Gbogbo wa gbọ́dọ̀ wà bold. Britain ò lè hold wa padà sẹ́yìn. America ò lè hold wa awala nílẹ̀. Mo ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ akéde. Ẹ jẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa lára àwọn bàbá wa tí a ti sọ fún yín tẹ́lẹ̀. Àwọn bàbá yìí àwọn ti gbé ní UK rí. Kódà wọ́n bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́sàn-án yìí. Ẹgbẹ́ òsókè torí pé Nigeria is a dead country. A dẹ̀ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀ láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà. Ẹgbẹ́ òsókè sà.
Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ o. Yóò dára fún Koikimedia ní gbogbo àgbáyé ó sì máa fẹ́ ó máa tóbi ju bó ṣe é ṣe yìí lọ. Àti gbogbo àwọn tó bá ń gbọ́ Yorùbá dẹ̀sán lọ́jọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá ni wá. Number 1 tí mo fẹ́ sọ nísìnyí ni wípé torí tá a bá tó sọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá sọ òótọ́ àtúgbọ̀dọ̀ tó pé ẹ má bínú gbogbo èèyàn pa wá tà. Wọ́n dẹ̀ kí àwọn arákùnrin mi náà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ tó pásítọ̀ Agboola wọ́n ṣe takuntakun nílùú Èkó àti gbogbo àgbègbè ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́. Báyìí ó tún délẹ̀ báyìí ó ti nílò báyìí bí ó ti mo sọ nígbà tí Yorùbá Gidi wá ìdáfẹ́ mi ó ní ibi tá à ń lọ ní Nàìjíríà àti débẹ̀ báyìí o àti débi tí a wá lọ báyìí kó tó wá di wípé ó máa di pé kéde kó dàbí kó tó di pé yóò di ọlọ́mọ ọmọ mọ́ kí bàbá gan bá wa kí màjáde báyìí kí bàbá ṣe war press ká ṣe ìkéde gbogbo oníròyìn láti Benin wípé ó tí wọ́n space ó tẹ́rù kó sápamọ́ o àti gbọ́ ó ti wà ń ta kí ló dé tá à ní máa dárúkọ àwọn ọba yìí náà ṣé wọ́n ní ká máa dárúkọ ọba ní. Ibi àwa ni wọ́n jọba lé lórí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣé báwa ni wọ́n jọba lé lórí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Torí tí mo fi pè gangan nìyẹn wípé a ò tí ì máa dárúkọ àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó lóko.
Ó dà bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ yẹn.
Àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bàbá Ọọ̀ni.
Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀.
Ọọ̀ni nìta.
Gbogbo wọn pátá.
Gbogbo àwọn tó wà bẹ̀ ní Ìjẹ̀bú. Bàbá Kárìbò.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Kírẹ́mọ. Àdàlákè ọ̀fàké. Gbogbo àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kan bá sọ wípé àwọn tá a wà lórí social media wípé wọ́n kàn ń jánu ní.
Kábíyèsí Elédùmarè. Oh my Lord.
Ọmọ tí ìparí sáà báyìí ó mọ̀ kú 17 days báyìí. Ìbàdàn ní Tuesday ní Wednesday ọjọ́ arábíyá ọmọ là ń pariwo yìí. Ebi ìyá kan ló bí àwọn ọba yẹn. Ṣé wọn àti ìrí wípé ebi ti wà ń gbòòrò ni? àwọn ènìyàn ti lọ jẹun níbi tí ó yẹ kí wọ́n ti jẹ lórí àtìtàn báyìí o. Láti wá ní pẹ́pẹ́ lọ sí mítì, ayé mítì ò ní dáa.
Àṣẹ Èdùmàrè o. Àṣẹ o.
Gbogbo ẹnu lọ́ọ̀lọ́ mo fún mi, orígun mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin ilé mítì wà ní nísìnyí.
Àṣẹ. Ẹni tó bá ti nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní nísìnyí, àwọn náà ní nísìnyí.
Irú àwọn ọba wo ni wọ́n fẹ́ lọ sí mítì? Mo mọ̀ wípé ó ti tọ́ pátápátá lélẹ́yìí. Irú àwọn ọba wo náà fẹ́ lọ sí mítì? Sí ọ̀ọ́dẹ ìsà náà wà lára wọn.
Gbogbo wọn náà la
káwọn ọmọ ẹ lọ sóko ẹrú.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ti fẹ́ táwa padà. Àṣẹ o.
Bóyá àwọn ìdílé ẹnìkan ló fẹ́ bá lọ. Ẹjẹ́ àwọn adárúkọ àwọn ọba o. Ó láìkè ìyá wa kan tó sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní pé ká máa ẹjẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa ṣe kinní yìí fún wọn.
Kinní yẹn ni, kinní yẹn la máa ṣe.
Ojú gbẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ náà nìyẹn.
Kinní yẹn la máa padà ṣe.
Nàìjíríà níjọba ọwọ́ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ máa lọ ní yín máa lọ ní yín.
Kò ní wáyé sí kinní yẹn la máa ṣe fún gbogbo yín. Ẹni tó bá ti lóhùn ò ní gbọ́ kinní yẹn náà la máa padà ṣe fúnra wa. Enough is enough.
Àti Jimsade Gbowó ti gbé ìwé lọ síbẹ̀. Ṣé bá ní wípé Amagébẹ́sẹ̀ yẹn pé irọ́ ni wípé a ò lọ́wọ́ sí i. Ó lè jẹ́ ká mọ̀ bọ̀ àwọn ọba padà sí Ọbásanjọ́ náà tún fẹ́ wà lára wọn ni.
Criminal ni gbogbo wọn fẹ́.
Ebọ́dọ̀ wọn ò gbà wá gbọ́ ni. Kílẹ̀ ru wọn bà wọ́n fún iná ti dédé wọn báyìí iná yẹn lè máa jó gbogbo wọn.
Àṣẹ Èdùmàrè.
Ṣé mo dúpẹ́?
Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa. Ó dà ẹ ṣé gan ni. Bàbá wa ti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ kó tó di pé a máa mú ètò yẹn wá sílẹ̀ torí 4 minutes ni mo ní tó kù torí àsìkò dẹ̀ ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká squeeze àwọn bíi méjì mẹ́ta tó sì pè wọlé. Yorùbá nation kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ internet. Yorùbá nation àwa kan ready in tó bá fẹ́ gbà ló máa gbà. Àti pé ànípẹ̀ padà mọ́ torí pé ìwọ náà lè ti pè o dẹ̀ ń decline bí alátọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pe àwọn calls tó ti wọlé. Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì. Ariwo tó wà ń ta nísìn ni pé wọ́n pé amalgamate wa padà and we must not allow such an agenda. Ẹ bá gbóhùn sókè ní kíákíá torí àsìkò ní sà.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun Ọlọ́run máa ràn yín lọ́wọ́.
Àmín bàbá.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe kíní yẹn fún wọn bó ṣe wí. Bí màmá yẹn ṣe sọ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe kíní yẹn fún wọn. Ẹ̀yin ẹ̀wò ní ìgbà tó bá tún jọ́ ṣe ṣetán lórí oyè. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ yìí ó wà nínú news. Nígbà tó bá tún jọ́ wá lọ sí airport ẹ̀ pé kò sí security fún wọn. Àwọn security pẹpẹ ló kàn tẹ̀lé. Bóyá tó wá lọ dúró sí ẹgbẹ́ airport. Bó ṣe slow down níbi bọ́ọ̀ báyìí bóyá bọ́ọ̀ sílẹ̀ fún mi. Ó kàn kó wọn ní mọ́tò bá ti wá dá lẹ́sẹ̀ gbàgbó òun rí bọ́ yẹn gan pé ṣé ẹ̀jẹ̀ nìyẹn fi ń ṣe kíní ẹ̀ fún wọn.
Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kọ́ lọ fi ń ṣe nǹkan gidi ni wọ́n máa fi ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ò lè ṣe kíní yẹn.
Àwọn tí kò tiẹ̀ sáré bọ́lẹ̀ wọn mú wọn ní orí ẹ̀ ò pé ni orí ẹ̀ ò pé kẹ́ ó lè jẹ́ ohun àmọ́kọ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀yẹ̀ wò kíní yẹn ló fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo yé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ló wá ń dàbọ̀ bá tó dọ́
ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ò lè ràn kíní yẹn confess ṣe kíní yẹn ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kọ́ lọ máa fi ṣe ìlú gbogbo ara máa wo múvì.
Àdéhùn òbílẹ̀ wọ́n wá mú lọ wọ́n ní mental problem báwo ó lè jẹ́ ó ní problem kíní kan ṣe pé máa yí wọ́n ló kó mi sí wàhálà yìí. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká ṣe kíní yẹn fún ọ.
Torí àsìkò ẹ ṣé gan bàbá wa kíní ẹ̀ la máa ṣe ó yá gbóhùn sókè Ọláníran ó ní 2 minutes ẹ má bínú torí àsìkò mi mo fẹ́ kó ju 3 minutes 3 hours lọ gbóhùn sókè ní kíákíá Ọláníran lórí Twitter space wá ẹ.
Ẹ ṣe mo dúpẹ́ Mr. Koi mo kí yẹn ṣe takuntakun mo kí Sunday Igboho mo kí bàbá wa Bánjíkà mo lè kí gbogbo Yorùbá ní ìṣàlápapọ̀ àtàwọn tó wà lórí space. Wọ́n tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé láì gbà wá lákòókò táìtù àkọlé ìkọ́tẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ sí ìbáyìí who among the Yoruba are against Yoruba independent country. We máa sọ wípé ọgbà bàbá bá because ní máa ń lọ sí lóríṣiríṣi máa ń lọ as an anonymous. Àwọn politicians àwọn ni wọ́n wà tọ́ba fẹ́ ṣe tọ́ba náà fẹ́ ṣe ọfẹ́ rí amalgamate lọ́ba àwọn politicians náà ni wọ́n máa ṣàgbàtẹ̀rù rẹ̀. So èyí lè wà ní space wọn ní ọ̀wọ́ ọ̀sán yìí tó sọ pé tí wọ́n ń sọ mo wà bí as an anonymous wọ́n sọ pé kò sí option kankan mọ́ fún President Bọ́lá Tinubu pé last option tó kù ẹ̀kan péré tó kù náà òun ni wọ́n ń lò yẹn pé bó ṣe yọ pẹ́ sọ síbi àbọ̀ ṣe yọ pẹ́ bí epo ṣe lọ òkè bó ṣe yọ subsidy kúrò lórí epo pé kò sí option ọ̀kan option ẹ̀kan péré tó kù yẹn pé àwọn èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ rọjú ní so ẹ̀ tó máa kú so ẹ̀jẹ̀ pé ó ṣe lọ sókè sí because lọ́dọ̀ wáyé ìgbà lánàá wọ́n ta epo ní 1,050 naira. 1,050 naira but ìgbà tó wà ní ìdàrọ́ yìí wọ́n sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ta ní 1,120 naira. So tó bá rí lọ láyé sẹ́wọ́n lè ti kọ́ di 150 àbí 1,200. So wọ́n tó ọjà ọbẹ̀ sí bára wọn fà ní space yẹn. Even though táwọn owó ìpàtẹ ìjáde pé a fẹ́ kí Yorùbá dájú, Nàìjíríà máa padà lánàá pẹ̀lú náà.
Ó gbọ́dọ̀ lánàá. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ lánàá. Ó máa lánàá. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ lánàá. Ó tẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ lánàá ẹ̀ ní kíákíá. Ní kíákíá nísìn. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ lánàá.
Ọlọ́run náà wá sí àwa tí kóra wa jọ pé a fẹ́ kí Yorùbá dájú. Àwọn ìwé rẹ̀ ti kóra wa jọ pé ọ̀fẹ́.
Ẹ̀yà méjì ò lè fi lọ kíyàn kan ṣe dá dúró, a máa fọ́ sí wẹ́wẹ́ ni. So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. Torí àsìkò.
Àwa ò lè dá àsìkò ọ̀nà máa ti wà fún tafẹ́ gbà. Ọ̀nà ti wọ ní ìsìnbáyìí sọ̀nà ti wà nílẹ̀ tafẹ́ gbà. So tó bá ti pọ̀ sí wẹ́wẹ́ oníkàlùkù
alọ túnṣà ẹ ṣé gan nítorí àsìkò. Ọ̀dà ẹ ṣé gan nítorí àwọn ẹ ti fún wa ní inside knowledge pé àwọn olóṣèlú ní ó yẹ gbóhùn sókè ẹ ti pè lẹ́ẹ̀kan bá fún yín ní privilege torí ẹ gbóhùn sókè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. À ń gbọ́ yín. À ń gbọ́ yín. Shout out to you Clement. You like my heart.
Ìyẹn ló jẹ́ kí n tó pè padà pé ó jẹ́ sọ yẹn pé ká má dàpọ̀ àwọn ọba. Ẹ jẹ́ má dàpọ̀ káwọn gbọ́dọ̀ bá wọn náwà ní ẹrú.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, a gbọ́dọ̀ máa dárúkọ.
Káwọn gbọ́dọ̀ pé wàhálà wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ẹ parọ́.
Àtìgbà tí wọ́n ti lọ́tọ̀ àti tí wọ́n ti lọ́rùn, ẹ jẹ́ káwọn ọgbẹ́ àwọn mẹ́bí àwa wà ní. Tó a gbọ́dọ̀ máa dàpọ̀ àwọn ọba ẹgbẹ́ àwọn ọmọ bìí, àwọn bíbù dàpọ̀ àwọn dẹ̀ ń wá ẹ̀mí àwọn táwọn ọba sí.
Àtẹ̀wé mi wọn bọ̀ kíní yẹn la máa ṣe fún yín. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Kíní yẹn la máa ṣe fún yín. Kíní yẹn lọ ní ká ṣe fún yín. Gbogbo yín dẹ̀ la máa ṣe fún torí pé ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ ká lọ. Ẹ̀yin tẹ ọmọ tó ní ìyá wọn ò ní sùn. Òun kàn ní fojú kan run. A lè sọ́fà nínú ilé ká tún sọ́fà níta. Àwa ti sọ́fà ẹni tó bá máa délé ní Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó dé láyọ̀ àtàlàáfíà. But wàá mọ̀ pé nǹkan kí sí sẹ́pọ̀n ràgó nílùú òyìnbó. Ẹ jẹ́ kí brọ́dà mi láti Dublin àjọ darapọ̀ mọ́ rally àti dínà ni ẹ bá gbóhùn sókè ní kíákíá ẹgbẹ́ mi sí máa.
bàbá ẹ wò ẹ kálẹ̀ kúṣẹ́ kú gbogbo àwọn ẹ wò mo gbàdúrà fún yín kò ní ṣe mí kò ní ṣe àwọn ọmọ kò ní ṣe ìyàwó so ẹ ṣe ẹ kú gbogbo àwọn àwẹ mi fẹ́ tẹ̀tà yín nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé ó wà sọ òfin pé nàìjíríà ti pín ọ̀rẹ́ di àkọ́ntọ́ra wa ni ẹ jẹ́rí mítìn tó fẹ́ ṣe yẹn irọ́ ló wà bẹ́ẹ̀ because ibi tó jẹ́ tí ó lọ ṣe lásán wọ́n ti fail already because ẹni tó fẹ́ lọ ṣe lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ gan ó sọ pé òun ò ń ṣe Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ kò sí nǹkan tó kọ Yorùbá pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀ Èkó so ìyẹn lásán ó ti fi wà so obvious pé irọ́ ló bá bẹ̀ so ẹni ọba tó bá lọ síbẹ̀ ìjẹkújẹ ló fẹ́ lọ jẹ àtẹnujẹ ni because nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí.
ọ̀rọ̀ ìjẹkújẹ kọ́ lélẹ̀ àní wọ́n fẹ́ sign amalgamation ìjẹkújẹ kọ́ lélẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ lọ tọwọ́ bọ̀wé wọ́n fẹ́ sign amalgamation ó ti ju ọ̀rọ̀ ìjẹkújẹ lọ ìbọn fún wọn ní mọ́tò wọ́n fún wọn lówó.
àwọn pariwo sí i ni wọ́n ti wà so obvious pé nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe politics ni wọ́n fẹ́ jọ ìwà together ní Ọlọ́run lè ní fún gbogbo wọn ṣe torí pé ìka ní gbogbo wọn àwọn ọlọ́mọ tí wọ́n fọ àwọn ọmọ tí ìlú òyìnbó.
scholarship ní sẹ́ẹ̀ scholarship làwọn ọmọ fi wà nílùú òyìnbó.
at the end of the day àdúrà àwọn ò ní gbà àdàbí tó bá pé ìfẹ́ Yorùbá lọ ní nìkan ló kù tó bá jẹ́ pé láti kọ̀ọ̀tún láti máa kó wa sóko ẹrú ni Ọlọ́run á mú gbogbo wọn á lè má ọmọ wọn náà ó dàbọ̀ sáyé.
Thank you so much. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá àní a ti wà nínú another danger tí ó kanlẹ̀kùn wá bá mi òun ni pé wọ́n máa amalgamate wa tá a bá pariwo síta ká dẹ̀ ṣe kinní yẹn fún wọn ẹ ló mà.
ṣóye sọ̀rọ̀ fún 2 minutes.
mo nílé sọ̀rọ̀ wà lórí live tẹ́ẹ̀bà ti lè sọ bí a ti bá ṣe tán ni ká sọ̀rọ̀.
ó wà lórí live.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mà.
mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa nǹkan tó fi ránṣẹ́ sí mi.
ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ later mo wà lórí live grandma màá pè yín tí bá ti parí program all right ma. kinní yẹn lọ ní ká ṣe fún yín torí pé ẹni ṣúkúrú lórí kò wá ń ṣàwọn ọba nìkan brọ́dà tó pè tán yìí mo ní níjẹta èèyàn mẹ́ta mo dárúkọ mo ní politician elite àtàwọn ọba àwọn ọba ló fẹ́ ṣèpàdé but ní background àwọn politician ló operate ìyẹn a máa sọ yẹn ní bí alọ́la kọ́lọ̀ fún mi láyé àtàlàfíà ká máa fi ṣe yẹn but lálẹ́ yìí àwọn ọba ni mo gbé wá torí pé intelligent ni wọ́n máa ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ mọ́ tán pè amalgamation máa gbé picture wá fún yín lugard ló amalgamate wa this time around àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló fẹ́ amalgamate wa àdìnígbà ẹgbẹ́ òsókè.
Ọláyọmí Kóìkì the white lion of our time ada fún yín. bí ọ̀rọ̀ sọ wà lè láti gbàgbé mo tẹ̀sí kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ pé wọ́n ní wọ́n pè ìpàdé pọ̀ àwọn ọba ní Nàìjíríà àti Tógò àti Ghana bí wọ́n máa ṣe láàfin Ẹlẹ́gùṣì ìgbà ẹni mo tẹ̀sí kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ yìí pé wọ́n ti da ọwọ́ rú ṣùgbọ́n ìbéèrè tèmi ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ló lọ. Ní ìgbà kan wọ́n kó àwọn èèyàn wa àwọn ọba yìí náà ni wọ́n kó wọn tó tà wọ́n sóko ẹrú. Amalgamation down náà àwọ̀ àwọn. Now oko ẹrú ta la ti gbọ́n níbi àti mọ̀ bí àkókò tẹ̀wá lọ́rùn kó ní wọ́n lára tẹ̀tẹ̀ kúrò ń bẹ̀. Nísìnyí àwọn ọba tó fẹ́ tà wá sí oko ẹrú ní ìjọba tó tọwọ́ bọ̀ pé mi wọ́n fẹ́ rí ní o nǹkan tí ó yẹ ká rí sí o láti 2014 bí pé ṣàfẹ́jọ wà sáfẹ́jọ wọ́n fẹ́ sáyẹn lẹ́yìn wa.
nígbà tí bàbá kí tó ti mú lẹ́tà lọ.
ìbéèrè tí mo mú ní fún ọmọ Yorùbá nísìnyí pé ṣé àwa máa wò bí ewúrẹ́ tí wọ́n so mọ́lẹ̀ tó fẹ́ fi ṣe Christmas kí àwọn bàbá ìkan pa wá ni. Torí ní tí wọ́n ń ṣe yìí ìwọ̀n ẹ̀mí wa ò jọ wọ́n lójú. So lẹ́yìn kan gba owó kan gba escalate kan gba bàbá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá a máa ra ọdún ju escalate.
iná rẹ̀ sí ní palace púpọ̀ nínú wọn báyìí generator ló ń lò.
ẹ wo Ilé Ifẹ̀ tẹ́ bá dúró sórí ààfin Ifẹ̀ ẹ wo orúfù ilé tẹ́ máa rí ẹ wo ọ̀nà tẹ́ máa rí nínú ẹ̀ bàbá ẹ wo àwọn Rolls Royce tó ń kù ẹ wo àwọn escalate tó ń kù àní kan máa kù ní ṣùgbọ́n tí wọ́n gbọdọ̀ tà wá sí oko ẹrú nítorí pé àwọn fẹ́ jọ láwọn fẹ́ jọ wáyé ó di ọ̀ọ́dí mélòó náà ti jẹ nílé Ifẹ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ ipò ni wọ́n wà láyé kò rẹ́ bà nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ kí àwọn ọba yìí kí wọ́n rò ní ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ni mo bá lọ́rọ̀ nítorí pé má fi oko mi dá ọ̀nà ọjọ́ kan lè yàn ń kọ́ it is high time káyé dákẹ́ ká má jẹ́ kí ọmọlúwàbí wa kó di foolishness ká má jẹ́ kí ọmọlúwàbí wa kó di stupidity ẹni tó bá sọ pé tọ̀ pé kò yẹ pé ká gbé ìgbé ayé rọ̀ ẹni tó bá sọ pé tọ̀ láìpẹ́ wa ò jọ wọ́n lójú ó yẹ káwa náà kò yẹ ká fi láìpẹ́ wa lọ́wọ́
àwọn ní ìsinmi ni bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
it is time ká ṣe eye for an eye not for the price of the blood because àwọn bàbá wọn ò ní ìfẹ́ wa and we are still black. bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn tí ò bá sí èèyàn nílùú tí ọba máa wà ní.
kò possible.
tí kábíyèsí ò ní bó ṣe lówó tó.
ìbáwá lọ́jọba lé lórí àwa lọ́jọba lé lórí.
so nítorí ẹ̀ ìka ẹyọ kan ní kábíyèsí ní bábálẹ kájíkù tí wọn lè lọ jókòó kan lọ sign anything tó máa fi wá sóko ẹrú ní títí tó bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe máa rí a máa lé wọn kúrò láàfin wọn máa sáré kábàkàbà. sẹ́rí nǹkan tẹ́mi fẹ́ sọ finally òní pé brother tó sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé kábíyèsí ní mobilize resources tiwa let us continue to mobilize our resources. àwọn bàbá wọn yẹn ẹni tó bá ní wọn máa ní wá lára àwọn náà ò ní gbé ìlú yẹn àwọn náà ò ní gbé ìlú yẹn a máa ṣe kíní yẹn fún wọn ní God bless you.
ẹ ṣé gan ni mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ká tó parí ètò náà mo kí gbogbo wa mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ dá sí o ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ tí ọba tó bá jáde after November 7 tó wá sọ fún yín pé àwọn ò sáìnì kankan ìrọlọ́pàá meeting tó máa ṣe mẹ́ta ni wọ́n máa ṣe kan lóru a ṣe kan ní àárín òru èyí tó máa ṣe láàárọ̀ tí gbogbo wa máa rí wọn tó máa dágbádá bolẹ̀ ìyẹn ni wọ́n máa jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa rí. mo wá ń bẹ gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ à ń bẹ̀ yín ẹ má sign agreement kankan pẹ̀lú Britain. èyí táwa ṣe ní UK àti America àfikò wálé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ má sign any agreement tẹ bá fẹ́ sign ká wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ká ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tiwa ká dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tiwa tó lóyà sí wa Nàìjíríà ò lóyà sí anybody ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá sì ń sọ pé Nàìjíríà lóyà sóhun irọ́ ló pa Nigeria is not loyal to any single person whether you are Yoruba or not. It was not a country that we put on our own. It was forced on us. Amalgamation ẹ̀ lè rí lórí screen ẹ̀yin náà wò mí. And as I leave us tonight, I want us to take something away from this broadcast. That we will not give that land back again. Mo sọ níjẹta, omi ó wà lára negotiation tí wọ́n negotiate ní November 7. Èyí tó kù àkúdání for now. tí ẹni ọba kankan bá jáde tó bá deny or release statement ní program tí mo ṣe lálẹ́ yìí, I will come out and I will release all the evidence that I have with me. Though I will put life at risk. But ẹ bá jáde ní any palace, they release any statement, gbogbo èèyàn ọba yẹn pátá, àṣírí yìí máa tú síta. And the end of Nigeria might happen as quickly as we want. But we are telling you now, ẹ má rò pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe tẹ́ ń lọ tẹ́ ń bọ̀, gbogbo private jet tó fi gbé yín wọlé lókè lẹ́ fi padà, tẹ́ wọlé tẹ́ sáré jáde, gbogbo ẹ̀ pátá, itinerary yín, picture yín, gbogbo ẹ̀ pátá la máa release orí social media. A fọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá kí gbogbo ẹ̀ kúkú dàrú di kíákíá. Koiki ni mò ń jẹ́, Ọláyọmí Koiki. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá wọlé lóru, wọ́n máa sọ fún mi. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá wọlé lọ́sàn-án, wọ́n sọ fún mi. Bẹ́ẹ̀ wọlé pẹ̀lú atẹ́gùn, gbogbo àjọ wà nínú ẹ̀ ni. Torí pé kí ni? Ìyà tí ẹ̀ ń fáwọn èèyàn wá jẹ, wọ́n ní ìyà yẹn ti tó. Bí mi ò bá tẹ̀ wá jìyà, èmi gbádùn pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ mi. Millions of Yoruba people are suffering. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí i. Koikimedia bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Àníri jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ lórí ìkànnì wa lálẹ́ yìí. Gbogbo ẹni tí ó bá gbọ́ prógrámù, ẹ pin fáwọn tó wà nílé pé inú ẹrú tá a fẹ́ wọ̀ ó máa le ju ìta ti wà nínú ẹ̀ lọ. Let us pull out together before it is too late. A very good evening. Mo kí bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè. Ọlọ́run bá Elédùmarè á bá mi lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀mí yín bàbá. Ẹ pẹ́ fún wa. Ikú kàn nípa yín. Ẹ máa kó wa délẹ̀ lérí. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá wá ń perí yín ní gbogbo bí wọ́n ti ń pè pátá. Gbogbo wọn pátá ni àwọn alálẹ̀ máa dé pẹ̀lú. Yorùbá nation kò ń ṣe Yorùbá nation. Àtọ́básanjọ́ o, àtẹni tó náà òun fẹ́ o, gbogbo yín pátá a máa kó yín débẹ̀ ni. Ẹ̀ta bá wá débẹ̀ tán, àmọ́ bá ṣe máa yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ yín torí bomb bastard ló pọ̀ jù ní púpọ̀ nínú yín. Mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa. A ní lè máa dárúkọ gbogbo yín lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Gbogbo eré náà ni mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà. Èmi ló ń pè ní Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Mo kọ̀ ra yán díẹ̀ fún yín ní ọmọ Yorùbá. Èyí tó wà nílẹ̀ ó ju tí mo rọra sọ yìí. Mo kọ̀ ra yán ni. Mo ń dúró kọ́ wá sọ fún wa after November 7. Tó bá sign, gbogbo ẹni tó bá sign ẹ̀ náà la máa gbé jáde. Ọkọ́ tó gbà yẹn, ẹ̀fẹ́ ká lọ múra sílẹ̀. Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder and it can explode anytime, any day, so that kò má sọ pé o gbọ́. Ogun kò ń ṣe ń ta máa bẹ̀rù mọ́ níbi tílẹ̀ ṣúdẹ̀. Wọ́n ń jagun káàkiri ni. Ogun la máa fi gbára wa sílẹ̀ ni. Àdúrà la máa fi gbára wa sílẹ̀ ni. Prepare your body and mind and soul so that we can free from the shackles of the criminal politicians tí wọ́n ń tà wá fáwọn international community one bastard. Ó dàrọ̀.
Impediment to Yoruba development. Is the impediment to Odua development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.